Z in position now for 200 metres. I'll ident it. This is Z.
It's a glorious sunshine day at the Stadio Olimpico Carlo Zecchini in Grosseto for day 2, the afternoon session of the 2016 IPC Athletics European Championships. Hello from Will Downing and John Rawling, and another big day awaiting us. 24 finals this afternoon, 15 on the track at this wonderful venue, which was a 1960 Olympic Games stadium, which was held nearby in Rome. As you can see, slender breeze today, John, with some great action on the way.
There certainly is, and we're going to have some drama on the track, that is absolutely assured. But you see that slight wind there, which is going to be blowing from our right as we commentate, so into the face of the sprinters, but interestingly with the wind, the breeze behind the long jumpers, And one of the great talking points of the afternoon and the evening is sure to be the men's long jump, because there we have the brilliant German Markus Rehm, a man who won the World Championship last year with a leap of 8 meters 40. And he, of course, still hopes that he might not only be a great Paralympian, but also a great able-bodied Olympian. The dispute and the discussion there is ongoing.
So the afternoon session about to get underway. Some glorious highlights of the morning. Ateta Mellock, finally a European champion and winning the women's 800 meters T20 in a new world record time, breaking the mark of her compatriot Barbara Novitzil. Louis Radius coming from behind the shadows of Michael McKillop to win the men's 1500 meters T38. Now a sprint double for the former thrower Veronika Doronina, the Russian, winning the women's 400 meters T34. She's still only 19. Igor Sharov looking as good as usual in the men's T13, 800 meters. Further glory on the way for him. A big crash took out half the field early on in the men's 800 meters T20, including regular champion Dmitry Makarov. He's in the red there, picked himself up, but didn't go through as an automatic qualifier. But there were those who avoided the accident. And great jumping from a raw 20-year-old Frenchman, Alexander Pogo-Awan, claimed the men's T47 high jump. It's warmed up quite a bit here. 26 Celsius, much warmer than the morning session. And there is an interesting wind as well, which may play a big part in proceedings today, as already mentioned. So of the various track finals, we had 10 this morning, 24 this afternoon, 4 in the field to get us underway. The first track action in around 5 minutes' time, the men's 400 meters T47 final, involving the European champion Alexei Kotlov of Russia and the former European champion from Cyprus, Andonis Oresti. Also the men's 1500 meters T11 final. European champion goes in that, Semih Deniz of Turkey. We've got the women's 100 meters T35 final at 4:41. The women's 5,000 meters T54. Everybody in that has won major titles previously, including Natalia Kocherova of Russia, who won gold in the 200 here, and her husband's not bad either. He's competing this week too. Now watch out for the men's long jump T44 final. That's just past 6 p.m. Central European local time, 5 p.m. UK and Ireland. Markus Rehm going in that, and he'll have the wind at his back, we reckon, in a couple of hours' time. We'll be watching a lot of him and the rest of the field, obviously. Men's 5,000 metres T54 is going to be a brilliant race as well. David Ware among the field there, the multi-Paralympic Games champion, but is one of the strongest fields of the week in that. And we round off with men's 100 and 400 action as we head towards 8 p.m. here, and medal ceremonies as well. And a nice crowd today. Remember, it is free entry. We're not that far from Rome. Only a couple of hours up the Autostrada. Some of the best crowds we've actually seen at Athletics Championship, probably since Lyon, Stade de Rome 3 years ago, and weather to match, because the weather that week, John, was quite decent.
It was blisteringly hot, wasn't it? And it's pretty warm here this evening as well. There's a few clouds bubbling up in the background. I just hope that we don't have any thunderstorm problems later on. And that's the lighter clouds on one side, but trust me, they're a little bit heavier in some directions. And you see them just bubbling up in the distance there. That's looking a little bit threatening over there. But we will see. At the moment, that's a long, long way away, and you can see the wind blowing in the other direction, so hopefully keeping them away. At the moment, conditions for any sort of athletics just about idyllic. I'm really looking forward to that long jump. It's going to be fascinating to see what Markus Rehm can produce here this evening.
Well, obviously we'll be concentrating on it more when it's on, but he's competing in the IAAF circuit in the German Championships, and he's won that previously as a guest. He's obviously got the case where he wants to try and compete not just in the Paralympic Games in Rio, but in the Olympic Games as well, and it's one of the big talking points of the year.
First track action, not too far away. Got the men's 400 metres T47, which is going to be first on the track, and that's one which you're going to be able to talk us right through.
Well, conditions are relatively still at the moment. This the field of 8 in the men's 400 metres T47 final, and there's no Gunther Matzinger disqualified for a full start yesterday, the previous world champion from Austria, but we do have Alexei Kotlov, the European champion, and his predecessor Adonis Oresti of Cyprus in this, the former world champion from 2011. Strong field in this. Nur Ahmet Akal of Turkey. Now, he finished 11th in the 400 metres last year. Originally a footballer, but with limited opportunities in his area in Turkey, went into athletics and hasn't looked back. For Italy, Riccardo Baghini, his first major championship, Swiss-born, and gunning for Tokyo in 2020. Man who finished second in his semi-final for Lithuania, Audrius Alsbergas. He's 21 and a prospect. So here he is, the European champion. Previously, European 800 metres champion as well for Russia. Won his semi-final, Alexei Kotlov. Winning the other semi-final for Cyprus, his country's first ever Paralympic Games medalist from 2008, Adonis Oresti. Second in his semi-final from Turkey, man who finished 6th in this in the last Europeans in Swansea, Bayram Yilmaz. It's the first major championships for a man who had qualified for the 2012 Paralympics but missed out through injury. It's El Bomber for Italy, Giovanni Mazzetti. And also a first major championships for Austria's Paralympic Student of the Year for 2015, Alexander Potocnik. Kotlov in 4 and Oresti in 5. Oresti wasn't in Swansea. Kotlov definitely was on top of the podium as well. That was his second European title. He's gone on since then to world glory, bronze in the 400 metres in Doha last October, and also bronze in the 4x1 there in what's traditionally a strong Russian squad. Away first time, solid start from Kotlov as you'd expect, and also Potocnik of Austria in lane 8 has fired away right from the start. Oresti's going well in the 2 middle lanes. It's Kotlov and Oresti going brilliantly, and Potocnik in 8 has flown away in the outside lane. They'll catch up with him shortly. Kotlov looks like he's overtaken everybody at this stage. Absolutely flying, Kotlov. Milyaz at the moment for Turkey, trying to struggle to keep up. Just look at the gap between the top 3 at the moment. It's Kotlov and Oresti in the middle lanes. They've overtaken Potocnik, who was excellent in the first 150. Still trying to defend 3rd place at the moment. Kotlov looking to successfully defend his European title. And in the closing straight, here he comes. Alexei Kotlov for Russia. Oresti trying to run him down in the final 50, but it will be Kotlov to take the gold. Oresti in 2nd place, and Potocnik brilliantly takes 3rd for Austria, with Akal 4th for Turkey. 49.81 the winning time, unofficial. That's very, very fast indeed. And Alexei Kotlov retains his crown in brilliant style.
Season's best for Kotlov, 49.95, his best before. And he's very satisfied about a job well done. The European champion looking in great shape. Potocnik, the Austrian on the outside, flew out of the blocks. Running blind, of course, but by the time they got to the 2nd bend, it was really starting to hurt him, although he would ultimately hold on, I think, for 3rd place. But Kotlov here he'd done the damage to the rest of the field. Aresti, 33 years old now, the Cypriot, the former world champion. He's looking strong there, and if anything in the closing stages may have been slightly closing on Kotlov, but Kotlov, 22 years old, did what was required into that headwind down the straight. It was starting to hurt there, but he's won it by a really significant margin.
He knew exactly what he was doing, Alexei Kotlov. It's never easy in a race like this, the 400 final, if you're in lanes 1 or 8. But they produced finishing places 3 and 4 for Potocnik and Akal. Quite a lot of credit for 2 inexperienced athletes. Kotlov adds to his experience. He's successfully defended his European crown.
Still waiting for the official timings to come through. We'll bring you those in the fullness of time. At the time of the favourite there, Alexei Kotlov, well, it wasn't a world beating time, but it was certainly a European beating time, and it was his quickest of the year. The world record stands sub 48, but in the conditions, an impressive piece of running from Kotlov.
So we've got field finals just getting underway. Lots of concentration on the men's long jump later, but for now, men's discus, F57, and the European champion, 4 Paralympic Games champion from Beijing in 2008, Alexei Ashaputov. This one of the events where it's all 6 throws at once.
Tremendous opening effort. Good work from Ashaputov. Warm work. That's an impressive throw, over 40 metres. Well, I can bring you now that official result.
Championship record too for Alexei Kotlov. 49.81, Aresti in second place for Cyprus. A lifetime best for the men in 3 and 4 in the far off lanes, Potocnik and Akal.
Well, next on the track, we're going to be taking a look at the sprinters. The athletes are out. This is the men's 100 metres T12 classification. These are visually impaired athletes. They can run with a guide if they choose to, but all these 4 are running without the guide, and we reckon it's going to be between Artem Loginov, who's trying to defend the title he won 2 years ago in Swansea, and Fedor Trikolic, who was an impressive semi-final winner this morning. Second quickest man, and it's looking very much as though it's going to be the 2 in the favoured lanes, in lanes 3 and lane 5, battling it out together. Running into a stiff breeze. And let's take a look at the athletes who are involved. In lane 1, there he is. That's number 590, Gabriel Potra of Portugal. Now coming up, 36 years old, twice a Paralympic gold medalist back in 2000. And also double world gold 2 years later. Fedor Trikolic, who looked so good earlier on, world relay gold medal last year in Doha, second quickest in the field. And if there's to be an upset, he might be the one to provide it, but this man is the nailed-on favourite. 24-year-old Artem Loginov, European 100, 200 and relay gold in 2014, and the quickest man on paper, Thomas Ulbricht, very talented German. He completes the lineup in lane 7. 2 men here have gone sub 11 seconds though. That's Trikolic and Loginov. Trikolic has actually gone quicker than Loginov in the past, but on current form it looked as though you have to favour the man alongside Trikolic here, and that is Artem Loginov in lane 5. Could be a terrific battle, this one. European record stands at 10.66. Elchin Muradov of Uzbekistan, also the world record. But this is going to be a Russian duel. Trikolic in 3 against Loginov in 5. 4 athletes now called forward onto their blocks. On the form this morning, Loginov looked as though he might have a yard or a couple of yards, or meters if you prefer, over Fedor Trikolic. But upsets can happen, and as ever in sprints, the start absolutely crucially important. And it looks as though Loginov has got out of the blocks well, and not a lot between them here. Trikolic in 3, Loginov in 5, and here comes Loginov. Loginov comes clear. Loginov wins by a couple of meters. Second place Trikolic, and on the far side, third place for Gabriel Potra of Portugal. But Loginov got the start that he wanted. The time given as 11.13. I think that's into a slight headwind. That remains to be given. But it was never really in doubt once he got out of the blocks as sharply as he did. And it was into a 1.2 meter headwind.
I didn't think it had been a great start really by Trikolic. He looked quite tentative on the blocks. Look at Ulbrich, by the way, in the left-hand side. Something went straight away. But Trikolic fought back very well in the second quarter of that race. Then Loginov really put the foot down. Not very much between them in the end. Potra, a very creditable bronze medal. But Loginov, well, he's defended his title brilliantly. And into that slight headwind as well.
Good start there from Loginov. You see him right out of the blocks very, very well. Trikolic is a pretty sprinter, looks really good, lovely style, and contrast that with the power of Loginov coming through in lane 5 and ultimately winning by a couple of meters and looking very strong. 11.13 into a headwind of more than a meter, and in fact it's now been rounded down to 11.12. Trikolic exactly 0.2 of a second behind, with Potra a season's best taking third place, and there's confirmation. 11.12 ahead of Trikolic, 11.32, and that season's best for Gabriel Potra. He takes third.
Hard luck for Ulbrich there. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon, to contrast with some of the previous days' weather here in deepest Tuscany.
The shot put underway. This is the men's shot. F44. Adrian Matusik of Slovakia, the defending champion from Swansea. Excellent attempt in the third round. 15 meters 30, and that's significantly further.
Now we're going to the women's long jump. It's round 1, and this is Zana Fekhalina, the reigning world champion from Doha, from St. Petersburg. She hails. Now, how much is she going to be helped by the wind at her back? They're running back down the closing straight on the near side in front of the main grandstand. Fekhalina, also a sprinter, a European relay gold in Swansea 2 years ago. That's a good attempt by Fekhalina.
Interesting with the long jump, it can work both ways, can't it? It can, in theory, increase the length of the jump, but it can also, because of the pressure from behind, it can impact on the run-up. So it's not necessarily the huge aid that you might expect if you've got a big breeze behind.
Well, Fekhalina with 4.89, and that is an improvement on her European record. This is Francesca Cippelli, 3:53 in the opening round, lifetime best, and she's currently in 4th place. She's from Venice, she's 19, and it's a major championship debut. She was ranked 6th of the starters going into this. You'll see the restriction, but you'll also see how she's dealt with it. Cippelli going into this championship with a lifetime best set this year of 3:47.
Hits the board pretty well. Obviously, the ideal is to be as close to that plasticine as it is physically possible without actually making an indentation, which would leave it as a no jump. Looks happy with it.
She was right on the board. Needs 392 to get into the medals above Langner. And that is 3 meters 47, disimproved by 6 centimeters, but at the same time it matches that lifetime best she had going into 5 minutes ago. For Ireland now, from Cushinstown AC in Meath, this is Heather Jameson. She was Ireland's youngest competitor at London 2012. Finished 7th in the long jump there. Wasn't in Doha, but has competed at Lyon in the previous Worlds and the Euros in Swansea. Second round attempt this is for Jameson as well. A foul in the first round, so has to be wary. And that is a red flag, so that's a second no jump for the 19-year-old. Not by much, though. Little something to be ironed out in terms of the run-up and approach. It's also happened to Franziska Liebhardt of Germany, who fouled out in the opening round. So Anna Sapisnikova, the European champion, won the long jump and also that 4x1 relay, as previously mentioned. Silver in the 100 meters. You can see how full of the stands are today. They'll watch the continuing long jump below them and the upcoming medal ceremonies.
And our first medal ceremony of the evening. This is the women's shot put, F32-33 classification. And a dominant performance from the favourite here, the Russian favourite who delivered the goods, Svetlana Krivenok. Seated shot put, this one. Presentations being made by Ms. Giovanni Stellini, the Council Member for Culture, Public Education and Equal Opportunities for the city of Grosseto, and also Mr. Umberto Marazio, who is the Chief of the Fiat Autonomy Programme. Three athletes making their way up onto the podium. And a proud moment. There's Umberto Marazio, the Chief of the Fiat Autonomy Programme, and the bronze is going to be given to Naomi Shigetti. She was actually in the F32 classification. This was a combined 32-33 classification for this shot put, and she takes the bronze medal. Plenty of friends and fellow teammates, of course, in the crowd, in the main stand. And you perhaps hear them shouting their appreciation of the efforts of these athletes as the medal is handed to them and placed around their neck. The silver medal, it comes from the athlete representing Greece. Here's Antti Liagku. Excellent performance from her, and one of the athletes here who's going to be going to Rio hoping for the biggest prize of all, but here taking the European crown, and it was the Russian favourite, and she was a clear winner. Svetlana Krivanok of the Russian Federation taking the gold medal, and so the dominance of the Russian team continuing here. We've already heard the Russian national anthem a fair number of times today, and they are getting huge success, and here another gold medal to celebrate. So our congratulations to Svetlana Krivanok.
Excellently successful opening 2 days of the championship it's been for Russia. More gold medals than anyone else, though Poland have done fantastically well. Have a men's discus ceremony on the way shortly. 4 field event finals have just gotten underway as well. When the men's long jump final is on, and that features Marcus Rehm, will be pretty much the only field event in focus. So the men's discus F52. Now here's a man we saw earlier on the track, Kęstutis Skukas of Lithuania. He won bronze in this. He was also in the men's 100 meters T52 final. Didn't medal in that. So it's bronze for Kęstutis Skukas of Lithuania. Took this up quite late. He's also been involved in swimming. Won 2 silvers and a bronze at major championships. Skukas winning the bronze here. We are missing a medalist from what I can see. He's also competed internationally at swimming and basketball. This is Velimir Sandor, who won bronze in the discus in 2015. Very inspired when Antonio Balek won 2 gold medals in Beijing in 2008, so it's silver for him here, his second major championship medal. Receiving the flowers from the chief of the Fiat Autonomy Programme, Umberto Marazio. Now, unfortunately, Poland's champion Robert Jakimowicz is unable to join us. He picked up an injury at last year's World Championships and still won silver. And he's had a mishap here as well. He's in hospital, but we trust he'll be okay. Robert Jakimowicz of Poland, the champion. So we wish our new champion well, Robert Jakimowicz, and that he'll be back in action very soon. Second championship in a row, he's won a major medal and suffered difficulties during competition.
Back to the men's shot, F44. And this is the big Croatian Ivan Katanosic. 25 years old, a civil engineer student from Zagreb. He got the silver in Swansea, and boy, does he like that. Got a personal best of 15:07, and that is a good throw from Katanosic. He looked very happy. Oh, well, he might be. 15:69. He has absolutely obliterated his personal best, improved it for the second time this afternoon. Defending champion Adrian Matusik of Slovakia. And the gold medalist from Doha last year. He's a 17-metre man. He needs a big one now, and he's found a big throw. Now, is it far enough for Matusik? Is it going to be far enough to retain his title? Needs to find... Oh, it's not. 15:59. He by 10 centimetres. He has to take second best. So the defending champion beaten by Croatia's Ivan Katanosic. And he knows now that he is the champion. And a little bit later on, he will have the gold medal placed around his neck. Yeah, you're the strong man here this afternoon. He's taken the gold medal. Personal best, 15:69. And the defending champion, the dominant man in this event at F44, Adrian Matusik, has to settle for the silver on this occasion. Well, next on the track, we have the men's 1500 metres, T11. This is for athletes visually impaired, athletes who run with a guide. These are athletes with zero vision. Favourite, Semih Deniz in all probability, Turkish athlete, European champion from Swansea a couple of years ago, where he also won the silver medal in the 400 metres. So this is the lineup starting on the outside with Nuno Alves, won the gold medal in the 5,000 metres in Swansea and the silver medal in the 1500, looking to go one better today, now 41 years old. Ricardo de Pedraza Loza of Spain, debut in 2009, 11th in the Paralympic 5,000 metres. And here's the man who I reckon is going to be the one to beat, Turkey's Semih Deniz, with his guide, Mohamed Emin Tam. Spain's Manuel Garnica, who took the bronze medal in Spain. now 37 years old. In lane 2, 5,000 metres silver medalist and a bronze in the 1500 in Doha last year. That's Hasan Hüseyin Kakar of Turkey. And completing the lineup, he was 4th in Doha in the World Championships in 2015. Aleksander Kosakowski of Poland, just 22 years old. So the 1500 metres in the T11 classification. So vital, of course, the teamwork between guide and runner. Practice together, train together. Huge commitment for both men. And the guide, I always think, should never be forgotten in these races. Play a huge part in garnering the success for the athlete that they run with. Good start on the inside from Kosakowski. And cutting across from the outside, the wide outside side, it's Nuno Alves who's prepared to take it up with his guide Ricardo Abreu, a world bronze medalist back in 2013, and held off as they come to the 400-metre point.
The early jostling was interesting. Nuno Alves suddenly accelerated to get out of trouble, along with his guide Ricardo Abreu, the Portuguese team. And a little bit of a mishap here, just seems to have gone to the side, Nuno Alves. Well, he couldn't get out of trouble there, and he's actually out of the race. And Semi Deniz is our new leader.
Well, that must be some sort of injury causing that abrupt halt of Alves, who'd made such a good start. The 41-year-old Portuguese out of the race, and now it's the favourite Deniz, who I'm sure hadn't reckoned to be the early pacemaker, being tracked by Aleksander Kosakowski of Poland, 22, an improving talent. Right behind him with his guide Sylvester Lipias of the... He was 4th in Doha last year. And in 3rd place, it is the 2nd Turkish runner, Hasan Hüseyin Kakar, who's moving up and looking strong in 3rd. And now it's a Turkish 1-2. And Kosakowski just struggling to stay with the pace. And it's Turkey 1 and Turkey 2. And looking at 800 metres as though it's going to be a duel between them.
Yes, he's just fallen off the pace, the 22-year-old Kosakowski. He also runs on the main Polish circuit, the IAAF circuit there, having just missed out on a medal in the 1500 metres last year in Doha. So Turkey 1 and 2 at the moment. They're keeping the pace quite well. Semi Deniz, who's been here before, the defending champion, and his teammate right behind, Hasan Hüseyin Kakar. And obviously in situations like this, when it gets very tight, and you'd have just seen Kakar's guide Erdi Aksu just turn to him and whisper in his ear. The guys will be providing at times a running commentary of what's happening, but they are so far ahead of the rest. Obviously more than a lap to go, but Turkey looking good for a 1-2 here.
And Kakar is not here to make up the numbers. He's been told by his guide that Deniz in front, the favourite, may be struggling a bit, and they come up and take the bell this time, and it's Turkey 1, Turkey 2, and a long way back now to the 3rd athlete, Kosakowski of Poland, who's competing now for just a major medal, a minor medal. Gold is going to be decided here between number 774 Semi Deniz and number 777 Hasan Hüseyin Kakar, and down the back straight for the last time, and Deniz is looking strong. And look at the distance there between the first two and the pursuing Polish athlete, some 50 metres or 40 to 50 metres back in 3rd place. It is looking now as though Deniz is strong. He came under a lot of pressure at the bell from Kakar, but he looks now as though he's got this one in the bag. A lot of experience at championship level, and Kakar is trying to rally, trying to claw his way back with the encouragement all the way of his guide Erdi Aksu, but it's not going to be. This is going to be a gold medal once again for Semi Deniz of Turkey, coming up now towards the line and winning by about 12 or 14 metres, and a good time, 4 minutes 11.99 seconds, only 3 seconds or so outside his lifetime best. And it was a very assured piece of running from the Turkish favourite, which brings him another gold medal.
Yeah, things had gone wrong for Deniz last year in the World Championships in Doha, where he finished in 7th place, and Kakar was up there to win the bronze. But this time around, Deniz putting himself back in the podium, and he did it very well. Good assurance from him and his guide as well, Mohammed Emin Tan, and it's a championship record as well, by the way. 4:11.97 it's been rounded down to, and Kakar good athlete. His wife, Pinar Kellis, is also a T11 athlete and won bronze in the 400 2 years ago in Swansea. But a Turkey won too. Very good competition, but I'm just interested to see what happened with Nuno Alves earlier in bowing out so soon.
Well, we hope that it's nothing serious, and we'll keep an ear to the ground to find out exactly what went wrong. And he's pulled up abruptly there. He's not holding his leg in any way, but clearly it was something which straight away he felt that he couldn't continue. After making a really bright start, it was left to the Turkish favourites to battle it out, and the defending champion Semih Deniz, with his guide Mohammed Emin Tan, coming home. You see the guide just easing back. It has to be the runner who goes across the line first. Over he goes, and the gold medal assured. So the Turkish flag is taken on a lap of honour around the stadium in the warm sunshine here at the Carlo Zucchini Olympic Stadium in Grosseto, here in Tuscany. And here is confirmation of the result. Championship record, 4:11.97. Kakar second in a lifetime best, and Kosakovsky, by a couple of seconds or so, takes the bronze medal.
So let's go back to the women's long jump then. And we're watching Zana Fekalina. Brilliant opening round jump. European record 489. Only 3 centimetres away from the world record. So what can she do this time? She's got a good strong advantage of just around a quarter of a metre over Lee Parts of Germany, who finished second behind her in Doha at the World Championships. And who's also a very good shot putter. Gave away quite a bit in the board, around 20 centimetres there, did Fekalina. As is always invariably the case, the coaches close at hand to pass on a few little noticeable tips, iron out the kinks. The previous European record coming in the Berlin Grand Prix, almost to the day, June last year, 20th of June, of 486. Not sure it's much, if any, of an improvement on 489. 4.74 meters, and actually if she'd used a lot more of the board, maybe, just maybe, she might have been pushing towards that world record. Francesca Gipelli. She's a 350 jumper. .353 for Gipelli in the opening round, which was a new lifetime best, then matched her previous lifetime best in the second round. So here's her third. 3:53, her first round mark to beat. Looks around the same area again. Obviously unable to gain additional speed due to lack of leverage on the right side, as you see. Gave away a little bit on the board, was plumb on it, but still could have used another 10, 15 centimetres or so.
She can't quite get the forward rotation because of that lack of power on the right side either, so inevitably she sits back on the jump and that loses her distance.
She's matched her lifetime best from today, 3.53 meters. It's a very, very good day for her. So now the women's 100 meters T35 final. A couple of great champions here. The reigning European champion, double winner, Maria Lyle from Swansea 2 years ago. And Oksana Korsa, the double sprint champion from Lyon at the World Championships in 2013. Two from the Czech Republic, Anna Luxova and Lenka Kadetova. Oksana Korsa, who, you'll know the story now, St. Petersburg born, adopted by Italian parents, moved there at the age of 2 with his sister Olga, and lots of medals since then. Sprint double for her in the 2012 Europeans and the 2013 Worlds. From Prague, Anna looks over the Czech Republic. Went out in the heats of the Worlds in October. For Poland, 6th in the 100 meters final in Doha, 5th in the 200, Jagoda Kibil. The reigning champion for Great Britain from Scotland. In the 100 and the 200 in Swansea 2 years ago, Maria Lyle, gold in the 4x1 in Doha, silver in the 1 and 2 though, behind Isis Holt and Lenka Karatova, who we previously saw in a major athletics championship in 2011, the Worlds in Christchurch, but she competed in London 2012 in road cycling and archery, and 3 times a World Championship medalist in cycling, actually, Lenka Karatova. So Corso and Lyle, definitely the 2 to watch here, having previously won major championships. Lyle there, the reigning European champion. Now the European record holder, previously the world record holder. 13.92 is her European mark, set in Doha back in October, and taking silver behind Isis Holt. So Corso in 3, Luxova 4, Kibil 5, Lyle 6, and Karatova in lane 7. The final of the women's 100 meters, T35. So away first time, really good start from Corso in 3 and Lyle in 6, and an even better follow-up from Lyle. She's got it, she's got the pace. Lyle is going to take the gold. Corso in 2nd place. How fast will it be? 14.46, and it's 3rd place for the Pole, Kibil. Good victory. She's successfully defended a European crown, having dethroned Oksana Corso 2 years ago. 14.46 unofficial. Into a slight headwind, 0.9, but Maria Lyle is the European champion again, ahead of Corso in 2nd and Kibil 3rd.
Yeah, she's got the win, but a little shake of the head there, suggesting that she didn't think that all was as good as it might have been. I think probably Oksana Corso in lane 3 got the superior start, but the pickup of Lyle was excellent. She's really flowing from here on in, but maybe not getting out of the blocks quite as well as she would have wished. And the time, despite being down slightly because of a headwind, not quite up where she would have wished. A season's best 14.09 and a personal best of 13.9. It's here where she's so strong, the pickup, and she's really flowing here, accelerating away from Corso, but a winning time not quite where she would wish it to be, I don't think. That will be given in just a moment or so, but it is nevertheless a championship record for Lyle, so she comes away defending her title and running a faster time than she produced in Swansea a couple of years ago. Still only 16, remember. What a talent.
The reaction of an out-and-out winner. Championship record 14.45 from Maria Lyle of Great Britain. Oksana Corso with the silver, 15.28, and you go to Kibil, lifetime best in 3rd, 16.46. Season's best. So back to the long jump, and Franziska Liebhardt, her 3rd attempt, currently in the bronze medal position. 4 times a major championship medalist, the long jump, and curiously the shot came across the board very well, actually very, very well. Fekalina, 4.89. Sapeznikova of Russia, 4.53 in 2nd place. Bang on the board. Excellent. Lifetime best, 4.64, and she goes into 2nd place.
Next on the track now, the men's 200 T53. Wheelchair athletes in action here. And the favourites, the British athlete who's going to be starting in lane 6, a product of the Jenny Archer, David Weir Coaching Academy. Jomny Moatez. Moatez, who was the gold medalist in Swansea, also took the 800 metres bronze. Grosseto of Russia in 5 might be his biggest threat. But there on the outside is the Italian Ivan Carmelo Mazzini, 27 years old. European Championships in Swansea, was 4th in the 100 metres, disqualified in the 200 final. Rustam Aminov of Russia. And Motez Jomny for Great Britain, defending champion. Got the bronze medal in the 200 metres final in Doha last year. Here's Vitaly Grosseto. Grosseto, who was 5th in the World Championship 200 last year, also a very good skier. Nicolas Brignoni of France, bronze medal in the 100 metres 2 years ago in Swansea. Lane 2, Arsen Kurbanov of Russia, making his international debut. And Anna Helgi Larsson of Iceland in lane 1. He took the bronze medal in the 200 metres in Swansea. So lanes 5 and 6 might be where the battle is. Here's Motez Jomny. Is it going to be his moment? The 27-year-old British athlete, there he is, concentrating on getting the best possible start. T53 200 metres final. Nice clean start. Good start from Motez. Look at the way he's accelerating through there. And also going with him is Grosseto of Russia. It's between those two, seemingly, as they come around the bend towards the straight. Larsson of Iceland on the inside, maybe in 3rd place. Not a lot between them. And Grosseto is putting Jomny under a lot of pressure here. The Russians have come here in tremendous form, and there's nothing between them. Oh, by a whisker, only a wheel. It's Jomny who takes it ahead of Grosseto. What a race that was. The time given at 26.73 seconds, and if that's confirmed, it's taken a lifetime best from Jomny to have taken that one. What a race. And at one stage they came off the bend. It looked as though the upset from the Russian Grosseto was very much on the cards, but down the straight Jomny was strong, and by literally a wheel he takes the gold medal, and it's confirmed a championship record for him and a lifetime best time.
Oh, he's taken 0.14 actually off his lifetime best, with major rounding down, as tends to happen in wheelchair races. But what a race it was right at the end. He got away brilliantly, but Grosseto accelerating excellently between 75 and 125, and Jomny just holding on at this stage with around 60 metres to go. He knew Grosseto was there right alongside. Grosseto coming all the time, Jomny putting extra effort in, and he only barely got there. Brilliant finish to the race by Motez Jomny, and what a way for him to defend successfully his European title with that new lifetime best. What effort in the final metres.
Yeah, what effort indeed, and that shows how much he needs it and how much it means to him. The great man David Weir will have been watching somewhere, and Dave, the Weir Wolf, who's in action later on, will have been very appreciative of what Jomny has delivered there. And fair play to Grosseto, the Russian, who pushed him all the way. Jomny there, championship record, 26.64 seconds. Grosseto second, just 0.08 of a second behind, and another Russian personal best from Kurbanov. He comes through in 3rd place in a bronze, and there's the photo finish. Look at the two up front. Only the matter, well, I said a wheel, it's slightly more than that, but that is close, and they were really motoring when they came down towards the line. Gold medal for Great Britain.
Not much more than a wheel, though, realistically. Brilliant victory. So back to the women's long jump T37. And we're watching Franziska Liebhardt again of Germany. Good effort last time around to go up into 2nd place. It was a lifetime best of 4:64. A lifetime best having been 4:57 prior to that. Had been a volleyball player in her career before illness struck. 4:89 the lead for Fekkalina as she tries an edge ever closer towards that. It was a full quarter of a metre between Liepard in second and Fekkalina in the lead going into this. On the board well, again not a huge amount used of it. It's an improvement of the lifetime best, 4.70 meters she goes to now. Here is our leader, Zana Fekkalina, in this T37 cerebral palsy standing event. Well, 4:89, that brilliant European record set in the opening round. She's brilliantly defending her crown. Current reigning world champion Sapisnikova, who's the European champion from 2 years ago, has fallen back into third place now.
Plenty of noisy support from her teammates, I think, a fair number of them who are in the crowd. They sense another Russian gold medal here.
There's still a prospect of a gold, silver double for them. 4.68, still consistent. So now the final of the men's 200 meters, T54. Now this should be very, very interesting indeed. Leo Pekatati, the flying Finn. Excellent over 100 meters, but much medalled over 2 as well. Won the silver in Swansea 2 years ago. He's the reigning Paralympic Games champion over 100, but also in this, Richard Cesaro, who beat Tati down into second place in the semi-final. So the field in this men's 200 meters T54 final, the fastest, strongest of the wheelchair races. Alex Adelaide of France finished third in his semi-final. Bronze in the 4x4 for France last year in Doha. The great Mark Chu, silver in the 400 in Swansea 2 years ago, and 3 bronzes, including in this. Richard Cesaro from Harlow, man who was cut from the London 2012 team because they felt he wasn't a contender. Well, he is here now. Alexei Bichenok, who won his semi-final. He's also going in the 5,000 later. 800 meters champion at the Euros in 2012. He's a biathlon champion too. Nicholas Almers of Sweden in 4. 7th in the 200 meters final in Doha at the Worlds, and also twice Swedish dance champion Leo Pekatati. A magnificent competitor, 2 medals at the last Europeans, gold in the 1, silver in the 2. Alexander Ganze in the Russian singlet, his first major championship, but still got bronze in the international wheelchair half marathon earlier this year, and a first major championship, and well done a reach to the final for Chester and Great Britain's Nathan Maguire. The flying Finn was also the furious Finn earlier. He was tweeting his displeasure at some arrangement. He's in 3. Cesaro in 6. The men's 200 meters T54 final.
Set.
And they're away. Tati flying off to an excellent start, and Cesaro as well. It was a great battle between them in the semi-final, and surely will be again here as the Brit has gone off well in 6 and Tati in 3. And when they straighten up, it will be the Finn who will be marginally in front. Not by a great margin though, as here comes Cesaro again. He beats him in the semi-final. Can he do it in the final? He's trying to straighten up. I think he's going to do it. Cesaro's going to do it, and it's gold for Britain. Cesaro takes it. Bichenok in second place for Russia. And it is bronze for Leo Pekatati of Finland. And Richard Cesaro of Britain is the European champion. He's a contender now, isn't he? He's got a medal, and it's gold. A championship record, 25.14, and it's a lifetime best to boot.
Well, what a time to produce it. What a time to do it. To rewrite his own personal records, coming to a major championship, and the man who was left out of the team 4 years ago is certainly showing that he is very much a contender now in 2016, and here he has emerged from Grosseto as a champion. Leo Pecatati, who, fair play, he's more of a 100-metre specialist, and he got his customary rocketing start, but he just couldn't maintain it off the bend, and it was the speed of Chisaro and Alexei Bichenok of Russia that came through. But look at Chisaro there, pumping for the line, driving forward, and ultimately winning fairly clearly. That's a great run from him, a terrific performance.
I somehow think he's now a medal prospect for Rio. And Bichenok, by the way, it's his second major championship medalist, the best he's ever done over 200 metres, having won bronze at the Worlds in Doha. And Tati down in third this time. Championship record, 25.14 for Chisaro. Bichenok with the silver for Russia, and Leo Pecatati the bronze for Finland.
5,000 metres going to be going before too long. The women's 5,000 metres, that is, in the T54 classification. Just 3 athletes are in action there, including a vastly experienced Swede in Gunilla Wallengren, who's been around a long time now, twice in Paralympics in Beijing and in London, and a silver medalist in this event 2 years ago in Swansea. And she may be the one to beat, although Natalia Kocherova of Russia, much younger, 11 years her junior, she's produced a faster time this year.
Now back to the field and the men's discus F57, and this is Miroslav Petkovic of Croatia. Really good throwing country these days, thanks to Petkovic on the IAAF circuit. It's a really good effort from a man in his first major championship, and Petkovic will take the glory. Good solid throwing from the Croatian throughout. This the nominally strongest of the wheelchair events. Seated throwing, 42.84, and Petkovic takes the gold. Silver for Janusz Raticki of Poland, continuing their great games. He's stronger generally in the shot. Russia 3 and 4. Alexei Ashapatov getting the bronze, but Petkovic a champion and a new championship record too.
So onto the track now, 3 competitors in the women's T54 5,000 metres final, and it's a kind of an established talent, been around a long time, Gunilla Wallengren, as I was telling you, against 26-year-old Natalia Kocherova, who is 26 years old, 11 years Wallengren's junior, 10th in the 5,000 metres in Doha, also a very talented skier who took a gold in the 2014 World Championships. So here's the lineup, and on the outside, starting in lane 3, will be the Russian Natalia Kocherova. Silver medal last year in the 4x400 in Doha. As I say, 10th in the 5,000 metres. Here's Wallengren, 5,000 metres silver in Swansea, also a silver in the 1,500 and a bronze in the 400, now 37 years old. And Akshana Abdikarimova of Russia, silver in the 4x4 last year. And another one who skis, she competes and has competed in the biathlon as well. Skied for Russia, terrific all-round athlete. So 5,000 metres, European record, stands at 11.04.83, set by Manuela Schär of Switzerland last year. Hard to see anything approaching that here, although you never know. Starter just checking everything's right, visibly checking up. And there they are. They have to be behind the line, of course. Twelve and a half laps of the track. There you see the records. That's the best that's ever been set. It was by Tatiana McFadden. 11:04.54. McFadden, the brilliant American, one of the real superstars of IPC Athletics. She'll be going to Rio, I'm sure, with huge desire to sweep the board once again and show that she is very much the established star of women's wheelchair racing. And it's Gunilla Wallengren who's going to take it up as they come round through the lap marker. 12 laps still to go, and Wallengren leads the way. Tucked in second place at this early stage is Abdikarimova, and then comes Kocherova. Kocherova, the fastest on paper here, but it's all about producing it when it matters, of course. She's had 11:44.55 this season, and she's just tucked behind into the slipstream of the lead two, and the younger competitors content to let the veteran Gunilla Wallengren take it out.
A lot of Russian athletes seem content to keep their winters very busy by competing in cross-country skiing and also the biathlon. They've both been medalists, Abdikarimova and Kocherova, in recent major championships, and Abdikarimova set a new championship record at T53 level in finishing fourth in the T54 200 metres final yesterday. Kocherova, world championship gold in the mixed relay cross-country skiing last year, and also bronze in the biathlon over 12.5K, fifth in Sochi in the Paralympic Games in the cross-country sprint in 2014. Wallengren's been around a long time. She was one of those nobbled as part of that six-athlete pile-up in the Paralympic Games final in this event, the 5,000, back in 2008 in Beijing, but very successful. She won the 1,500 at the European Championships in 2012 in Stadskanaal, which was organised on a much smaller scale than this. But at the moment, everybody's taking their turn at the front and their turn at the back. The pace will be sedate, but you always expect that with a field of this size and a race of this length.
Yeah, it's about maximising your chances. And you saw when the early leader, the Swedish Wallengren, moved aside to allow Kocherova to take it through. She also didn't want to lose too much of a momentum, and she kept up a decent speed as she just moved into lane two. And Kocherova, interestingly, wasn't exactly busting a gut to keep up a fast pace. She took it up, but I don't think there certainly was no injection, and now she decides that she's done enough, and she's moving aside for Wallengren to do her share of things. Third competitor here, the second Russian, Abdikarimova, far less talented in terms of pace that they've achieved. Kocherova, a sub-12-minute run wheelchair athlete. Wallengren, best this season of 12:22, and Abdikarimova 13:14.53, and so far she's done none of the pacemaking. I'm sure that the big two would like to see her shoulder a little bit of the work, and Wallengren takes it out in front, and they come through this time with 9 laps to go. Very difficult to tell at this stage who's going the better, who's going to have the real sprint finish when it comes to, and at what stage do they go.
She's a real long-distance athlete, Wallengren. She's actually one of those in the T54 that doesn't prefer to go in the shorter disciplines, whereas the other two in this, Kocherova, who's wearing the full sleeves, and Abdikarimova, who's in the vest, they were both in that 200 metres final yesterday. Kocherova winning it, taking the gold medal in her place on the podium. T54, the wheelchair racing being one of those events where it is possible to win a whole lot of gold medals, as we've seen from Tatjana McFadden. It is one of those events where it's largely the same faces who pop up in every discipline. And the world and European record both set in the same race last year, that Urban Grand Prix in Switzerland, almost to the day, 6th of June, when McFadden pipped Shah on the line. Shah was going to would have taken a world record to beat McFadden in that. But it's Kocherova gliding through at the moment. Wallengren second, Abdikarimova in third. 8 to go.
You look ahead to Rio, and you always like to see races where there is the duel. I always think that great athletes kind of get defined by great rivalries, and McFadden and Shah is certainly a considerable rivalry. At the moment, Tatjana McFadden maintains favouritism, but the Swiss athlete Manuela Shah, who's elected not to compete here in these European Championships, sees certainly an athlete who at this distance is very capable of pushing McFadden all the way, and indeed moving on beyond that towards marathon level. But this time moving towards the side once more. Kocherova decides that she's done enough for the moment. The white helmeted Abdikarimova has shouldered none of the pacemaking so far, and now it's Wollengren who takes it up once more with 7 laps to go. We're going to keep an eye on this, but we're also going to take an eye as well on what's going on in the field events. Here's the long jump.
Franziska Liebhardt doing absolutely brilliantly with a new lifetime best twice over. We're in the latter stages of the competition now. 4:89, the European record of Fekkalina in the opening round that has the Russian in front. Liebhardt's been bombarding beyond 4.5 all day. 4:64 and 4:70. The 2 lifetime bests she's achieved prior to this. Again, pretty much plumb on the board. May have given a couple of centimetres away, but got the thrust in, and she's done it again. Improvements all the time. It's a 3rd lifetime best of the day of 4:73. It means the lead of this lady is down to 16 centimetres. Fekkalina, 4:89. This, her 5th round attempt. They've all been beyond 4:65 so far. Her first 2 attempts would have been good enough for gold, but everything else she's achieved since then has been beaten by Franziska Liebhardt. Sapeznikova still down in 3rd place, the reigning European champion, trying to climb back up to top spot again. But this is the lady who's well informed. 4:65. Fekkalina in the gold medal position.
Meanwhile, back on the track with 1 jump remaining in the long jump, and what a battle that's been between the Russians numbers 1 and 2. Here it looks as though it is Russia against Sweden. Those are the 2 athletes for Russia, of course, Kocherova and Abdikarimova, but Wollengren will have ideas of her own, and she picks it up once more. Number 679, Abdikarimova, tucked into her slipstream. Abdikarimova has not taken up any of the pacemaking duties. Got a silver medal in the 4x400 metres for Doha, in Doha last year, and they're going to be coming through next time with 5 laps to go. Still hard to tell who is going the better. Is it Wollengren? Is it Kocherova? We anticipate it being between those 2, but as we look at them there, they are split by the unfancied Abdikarimova, who's in 2nd place, and no more than 1.5 metres, 2 metres, not much more than that between the lot of them. That's the way it's been right the way through, and up they come now towards the lap marker, and she moves aside and once again allows Kocherova to take it up, and they go through now with 4 laps to go.
And Wollengren still, they're all together there, the 3. Abdikarimova's never had a major championship race longer than 200 metres, but being a biathlete and a cross-country skier, we know that she has the stamina. She hasn't done a huge amount of work up front. Kocherova's doing that for her. Wollengren, the oldest in the field at the age of 37, her first major championship, coming back in the Worlds in 2006 in Assen, where she finished just outside the medals in the 1500. But she's a really good long-term campaigner. Silver in the 5,000 metres in Swansea 2 years ago, as well as the 15. Perfectly tucked in the middle. 3.5 laps to go. Shortly the proper racing will begin. This has been just the build-up. They've been trotting along quite neatly, and now Kocherova looking to move across. Who's going to take the advantage on the inside?
And interestingly there, Wollengren didn't want to know this time. She hung back. That's a bit of experience. If anybody was going to move aside and take it up, it wasn't going to be her. She waited to see if Abdikarimova wanted to do a share of the spade work, and Abdikarimova didn't want to know, and now Kocherova is looking a bit uncomfortably over her shoulder to see where the rest are, and she will be perhaps forced into making some sort of authoritative move from the front. And Wollengren, if she's got the sprint finish, the Swede in 3rd place, she may have them where she wants here, unless of course, looking at it another way, she didn't quite have enough left in the the tank to take it up herself. But I don't think that's the case as they move round now towards what will be the finishing straight in a couple of laps' time. They'll come up to the 2-lap marker. Kocherova, the 26-year-old Russian, still leads the way from Abdikarimova. Then comes Volengren. The race proper surely is going to unwind very, very soon.
And we've got 2 laps to go, and Kocherova in the lead. She tried to move aside 400 meters ago and nobody was there. Abdikarimova at this level really wouldn't have had the experience to push through. Her lifetime best of this set this year of 13 minutes 14. The other two faster than her. Wollengren has played the cards very well, staying back in 3rd place, mopping everything up, now beginning to make a move in the outside. It may be a clever stalking move. 600 meters remaining. She's ready and poised and in a position with Abdikarimova in 2nd place where she feels she can maybe take her out. The big battle looks as if surely it will be Kocherova against Wollengren. They're both looking at each other, and here we go.
It is on now. The burn-up is on. Tactically, Volengren has got him where she wants, but at the age of 37, has she got the speed? Kocherova, a good 400-meter performer. Same for Volengren, and it's a Russian 1-2. And if Volengren's going to win this one, the 37-year-old Swede, you sense, is going to have to make a move down the back straight. The young Russian, Kocherova, leads from Abdikarimova. Volengren poised in 3rd, as she has been from 600 metres out. Is she going to have the strength and the speed to make her move? 200 metres to go, and Kocherova around the final bend still has it. It's still the Russian 1-2, and Volengren is moving wide to make her attack. Has she got the speed? And it's Abdikarimova. Oh, and there's a crash. Oh, dear, dear me. And Abdikarimova barges Volengren out of the way, and Volengren beaten there. Now, what are the judges going to make of that? Because Kocherova comes through and wins it, 11:58.12. And 2nd place, Abdikarimova, personal best for her. But Volengren, fairly blatantly there, was taken out. Now, whether it was a conscious move of Abdikarimova to do precisely that, or whether she was just trying to move wide and make her own challenge, that's one for the judges to decide. But in that move, Gunilla Volengren, her chance of taking the gold medal was lost.
Well, there's 2 questions there. Question 1, do they disqualify Abdikarimova and give Wollengren the silver, or do they determine that Wollengren had a strong chance of gold and was denied it by that Abdikarimova move? That was an incredible way for the race to end. Wollengren in a brilliant position out wide, and then Abdikarimova, maybe to defend silver, just shot out right in front of it. It's amazing. And look, it's the right hand.
That has to be indefensible. When you look at it in slow motion there, you don't see it quite as clearly from this angle, but from the angle we saw before, now you see, there goes the hand. She's got hold of her chair and pushed it physically offline. Well, that's surely got to be a disqualification, but where they're going to leave Wollengren, I'm really not too sure, because I reckon the way she was moving out, and she looked so fresh, she certainly had a chance of the gold medal there.
Well, we saw a controversial race, didn't we, at the 1992 Olympics. It was 2 Kenyans blocking off an Ethiopian. There was a lapped Kenyan runner who blocked, I think it was Richard Chilimo, and there was talk of a rerun, which never happened, but it reminded me squarely of that, because Wollengren had a great chance of victory.
Well, there, let's say it's subject to review, surely. There is a gold medal and a silver medal for Russia, and 3rd place for Wollengren. 2 personal bests behind a championship record from Kocherova. But frankly, that was extraordinary.
Well, none of that in the women's long jump. Final round, this T37, and Franziska Liebhardt with 3 lifetime bests achieved today. 473 in round 5. Has she got another 17 centimetres in her locker? She has to go a centimetre beyond Fekalina. Matching her would still see the Russian take it on count back with the Senga's longest attempt. So here comes Liebhardt from the Bayer Leverkusen club, a great sporting club. Again, it's heading beyond 4.5 metres, but I just don't think she had enough there. She's been brilliantly consistent. She's improved all the way through, but that certainly doesn't look as if it's gone beyond the new European record set today by the excellent Zana Fekkalina. She used the board perfectly. 4 meters 66. To be fair, she has given it her all today, and it is silver for Liebhardt, which means gold goes to the world champion. Fekkalina's got 2 of the 3 major titles now. She's bringing gold back with her to St. Petersburg. A new European record as well. Now, 4:89, the European record she set in the opening round. The world record set in Beijing 2 months ago by Wen Zhaojian is 4 meters 92. Another 3 centimeters further on the board and she'd have matched that. So let's see how she can do. The lap of honor. A European champion with a European record. Can she add a world record to it? It's a good distance. It's a decent distance, but it's probably not a great distance. Oh, she didn't use the board at all. What did she give away? 22, 23 centimeters, 467. But it's a good set of marks. She takes the gold. The outgoing champion, Zapisnikova, finishing with the bronze, Liebhardt the silver, and Fekkalina the gold.
Decent crowd on the home straight in the main stand, enjoying the entertainment here today. Glorious conditions, the temperature around about 26 degrees, a little bit humid, but the athletes, particularly in the shorter events, won't care one jot about that. Shot put, this is the men's shot, F20. Athletes with intellectual impairment. This is Dimitrios Xenakidis of Greece, who took the silver in Doha with a throw of 15 meters 45. And that looks as though it's out over the 14-meter mark. Let's take a look at this, as it's a legal throw. He's got to stay within the circle, of course. And then measure from where it cuts the turf. And he is the winner. Xenakidis taking the gold medal. Lifetime best, 15 meters 42nd, 46 rather, second for the second Greek athlete. Nikolaidis. And the bronze for the favourite, Jeffrey Igi of Sweden.
Conditions excellent. Social media hashtag Grosseto 2016. All the results on grosseto2016.com. Live pictures there and YouTube live also. But you can see, excellent crowd here in the main stand of the Stadio Olimpico Carlo Zecchini today. So the men's javelin F13, this is least visual impairment. We're joining it towards the end of the third round. This is Joel Janssen of Sweden, 43.80 to get into the top 8. He has to improve by exactly 2 meters. Hector Cabrera Glaser is our leader for Spain, a European record 62.28. It's a championship record as well, matching that of Branimir Budicic of Croatia, who has also thrown 62.28, but the Spaniard leads on countback. So this has to be 45 meters to keep going. Looks to be beyond 40, but really not much beyond that. Budicic, the world record holder, victory in Doha and the World Championships, 65.72. There's a mixture of F13s and F12s in this. European record at F12 held by Milos Galika of Serbia, who is in this, and that set of the World Championships in Christchurch in 2011. Janssen starting off with a 43.80, but a massive disimprovement in the second round. Down 7 meters on that with his second attempt. Well, I'm not sure that that's going to be beyond 45 metres, sufficiently to displace Dariusz Szyński. 44 metres 62, his best effort of the day, but he misses out by a metre. Good try, though.
On the track, the men's 200 metres, T38. It's actually a combined classification. There's T37 and 38. We'll watch for that man in lane 6, Andrei Vodovin, 22-year-old Russian, and he has looked well nigh invincible at this distance over the last couple of years, and it would be a huge upset if he didn't take the gold medal here. Last year he swept the board in Doha and did exactly the same in Swansea the year before that. There he is, Andrei Vodovin, big football fan, and perhaps appropriately admires above all others Usain Bolt. Actually made his competitive debut here in Grosseto back in 2013. The Spaniard, Lorenzo Abaladejo Martinez in lane 5. Dylan Harris for Great Britain will start in lane 4. Personal best, though, some 4 seconds behind that of Vodovin. And completing the lineup, Cherman Kobasov of Russia. 2014, he took silver in 100, 200, 400 and 800. Behind, of course, Vodovin on the outside. Kobasov, incidentally, talking of heroes, this hero, bit of a fighter. Manny Pacquiao, brilliant Filipino. So is this going to be a procession for Vodovin, or is Kobasov, Russian number 2 in lane 3, is he going to be able to push him all the way, make a bit of a fight of it? Vodovin running blind on the outside, but for the sprinters, they don't like being on the tight turn on the inside. The getaway first time, poor start from 2 from Dylan Harris, who didn't react to the gun at all. And on the inside there was a good start from Kobasov, and he is putting Vodovin under pressure here, and Kobasov is leading as they come into the straight. Now, how much has Vodovin got left? And he's under pressure from the Spaniard as well, and it's going to be Kobasov who's going to streak clear. This is the 20-year-old who has absolutely trounced Vodovin, who just holds on for the silver medal. But Kobasov, 23.32, Vodovin, for whatever reason, was a long way off the times that we're capable, that we know he's capable of producing. And Sherman Kobasov, I said that it would be tough for him in lane 3, didn't seemingly worry him one jot. Got a great start, came streaking around the bend, and by the time he got to the straight, he had such an advantage that Vodovin was always trying to claw it back and just didn't have the sheer naked speed to make any sort of inroad.
Bit of a turn-up, really, rounded down to 23.30, and Vodovin, having claimed that excellent crown at the World Championships in Doha. No Evano Hanlon competing in that due to injury. He was commentating instead. Kobasov, brilliant result, great victory. The big battle, in fact, for Vodovin in the end was to take the silver medal, which he only narrowly did against Abaladejo Martinez. But look at that margin of victory in the end for Kobasov, and at the age of 20, he's made himself a prime contender for Rio.
Absolutely. That is a really massive victory over the Russian favourite Vodovin. And it was a terrific run from Kobasov, and you look to potential gold medalists in Rio, and that looks like one to really establish him as a man to beat.
Absolutely magnificent victory for him.
Only 20 years old, 23.3, and that's into a headwind as well. That's a really sharp time, not too far outside his lifetime best. Vodovin, well, whether he's carrying some sort of injury, I'm not sure. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come to Rio in very much better shape than that, but it wasn't for him today. And Harris, despite that very poor start, did get a personal best, finishing in 4th place. Well, those somewhat threatening clouds in the distance haven't moved into anything one little bit more worrying. It's still idyllic conditions here in Tuscany.
That's the northern view. Aled Davis among the big names here. We're going to see another big British name get a gold medal very shortly. Aled Davis going in the men's shot put, the F42.
Hasn't he got himself into shape? Not quite sure what the exact statistic is of the weight that he's lost, but he looks, oh, I don't know, so it must be at least 2 or 3 stones lighter than he was at one stage. And I think that's no coincidence as to him throwing so well.
Yep, it's his first effort here in the shot. Good, decent effort from the British thrower. At 12.75, the current lead for France Barrier-Tosi, with Frank Tinnemar of Germany. Great experience, lots of medals, 12.55. Tom Hadscheid from Luxembourg. There have been times when he's been on a Luxembourg team of 1. Normally they've got the Belgians looking after them, but Davis has got that out a good distance. It's beyond 14. It's beyond 15. It's a championship record. Alan Davis in the lead. 15.26 by a long way. 2.5 meters. Tinnemar now 12 meters 55 in the opening round for this great experienced German campaigner. 14.33 is lifetime best. Everybody else's lifetime best blitzed by Davis. And Tinnemar can only try and inspire himself. Try and climb up at the moment to silver. He's 20 centimeters behind the Frenchman Barrier-Tosi, who's a youngster in comparison to quite a few of those competing in this. Tinnemar himself is the second oldest in the field at the age of 43. A regular major championship medalist. And at the moment he has turned bronze to silver, 12 meters 96. He's up to second. Mohamed Al-Jabouri of Sweden down the way a bit at the moment, having thrown 10.73 in that opening round. Hadscheid now knocked down into 4th place for Luxembourg with 11.85. Al-Jabouri is the oldest in the field, 4 years older than Tinnemar. 11.81 his lifetime best, through 11.80 this season. It's about a meter down on that from his opening round. Swede putting optimum effort in. Al-Jabouri has improved slightly, but not in terms of position. 11 meters 05. So now the men's discus medal ceremony, F44 to 46. Excellent throw by Alan Davis, we've seen in the past few minutes. An excellent throwing this morning from Dan Greaves in order to take gold for Great Britain. He was the reigning European champion going into this. He's also the reigning Commonwealth Games champion in Glasgow, as a number of para events were held there, as is the case in the modern version of the Games. Lots of jostling happening behind him for the silver and bronze. So Rogério Villeneuve, the head of the Italian Paralympic Committee, the Veneto region, will be presenting the medals and the flowers. Alberto Marazio, the chief of the Fiat Autonomy Programme, who we've seen already today. Adrian Matuzik of Slovakia taking the bronze medal. Well, the shot is his main event. Actually had no mark in the discus in the World Championships, having qualified for the final. Silver 2 years ago in Swansea, and bronze here, as was the case at the World Championships in Lyon back in 2013. Expect to see more of him in the other event. He's the reigning world champion and European champion in the shot. Ivan Katanusic of Croatia, though, from Zagreb. His other half, the international hammer thrower Anna Mari Kozul on the IAAF circuit. He has swapped his bronze from the last Europeans for silver here. Reversal of the positions of second and third of what we saw in Wales 2 years ago. But one thing hasn't changed. Man at the top of the podium.
Representing Great Britain, medaglia d'oro, il campione europeo, Dan Greaves.
In Paralympic year, Dan Greaves takes gold for Great Britain. He was Paralympic Games champion in Athens in 2004. Silver at London 2012, silver in Lyon. Gold at both the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow and the European Championships in Swansea. He was outside the medals in Doha and the World Championships, finished fourth there. Just checking, it is real, it is gold, it's the right colour this time. And he successfully retains his crown. Gold for Britain and for Dan Greaves. Discipline in which Britain excel, and they've done it again here with Dan Greaves.
Loughborough's finest. Very, very engaged.
A reverse of the top two positions from Swansea and the last European Championships. Gannon has learned an awful lot. Only switched from wheelchair rugby after a leg break 3 years ago. He was an excellent Belgian wheelchair rugby international. Now brilliant on the track. They've had some great sprinters the last 10 years, Belgium, and they've done it again. Getting championship record 27.8. Peaceman in second for Finland. Osborne third for Britain. Well, that was quite a scintillating finish for Peter Gannon. They've had Kim Gavart and Alina Behrings winning major championship medals, over 100 and indoors in 60, and Gannon's doing the same now, over 100.
Next medal ceremony here. It's another celebration of Russian brilliance. The T12 100 meters ceremony. This for athletes with visual impairment. Artem Loginov against Fedor Trikolic. And it was the gazelle, if you like, Trikolic against the power man Loginov. The two Russians, the Russian 1 and 2, and it was Loginov who prevailed. Not by a big distance, but he showed that he's going to be going to Rio with some very, very big ambitions, taking the gold medal here.
Well, Ryan Montgomery's the man with the beard and the glasses. He's at the head of IPC Summer Sports and a proud Scot. Father's from Kilkenny.
Thank you for the Irish information. Pierluigi Bornetti, CEO of the Impor Company, is the other man involved in the presentation. Marco Piazzoni, in fact, has taken his place alongside Ryan Montgomery. Bronze medal going to the Portuguese, Gabriel Potra. Trikolic taking the silver medal. Got a great start, had an early lead in the final. was just clawed back in the second half of the race by the power of Loginov. So silver for Trikolic. And the Russian contingent in the crowd will love this one. Yet another gold medal. Artem Loginov came into this as the favourite, and he delivered. Didn't get the best of starts. So powerful in the second half of the race. And a gold medal to add to his collection. And now once more, the anthem of the Russian Federation. Artem Loginov, the gold medalist. So congratulations yet again to the brilliant Russian team, on this occasion Artem Loginov.
Well, they find themselves top of the medals table with the highest amount of gold medals so far.
Well, that was a great race and a great finish. Dominance from the Russian team. Next medal ceremony we're going to be having, I think, is the men's 1500 metres T11. And there we see a wonderful 1-2 from the Turkish pair. Semir Deniz and Hasan Hüseyin Kakar. Gold and a successful defence of the title that he won in Swansea 2 years ago from Semir Deniz. T11, of course, is for athletes who are totally blind, and the guides as well will receive their medals. And I have to say, Will, that's something I'd really like to see, because it's not just individuals, it's about teamwork.
And they didn't always do that either, John. I think they actually brought it in around the time of London 2012. There'd been a push for it for a long time, because the guides contribute at about 50% of the effort, really, across the team, and it is teamwork. If you have a bad guide, you're not likely to win the gold medal. So Turkish power in a good way. Polish success
So
as well.
the bronze medal comes to Aleksander Kosakowski of Poland, with his guide Sylvester Lipiarz. 22 years old, Kosakowski. And his guide in the dark glasters, Sylvester Lipiarz. Silver medal, and what a brave effort it was from Kakar, Hasan Hüseyin Kakar, and his guide Erdi Aksu. Aksu, the bearded figure, on the left-hand side. 400 metres to go. They were neck and neck with the favourites. Well, the favourite, I ought to say, Semih Deniz. Turkish teammates, they gave it absolutely everything. Taking second place by a considerable margin. Proud moment for Hassan Hussein Kakar. Silver medal in the 5,000 in Swansea a couple of years ago, and the bronze in the 1,500. Now the silver. But a successful defence of that Swansea title, and making up for a disappointing performance maybe in the World Championship final last year. Semih Deniz with his guide Mohammed Emin Tan. Excellent performance from him. On the left-hand side of your picture, Deniz, Tan his guide, and the pair of them awarded their gold medal for the second time. And the story a long way from over yet. Still only 27 years old, Semih Deniz. And the way he ran here, you suspect a great deal left in the tank. And so gold and silver for Turkey, and now their national anthem. Great performance from Turkey. Semih Deniz taking the gold, and the silver for Hassan Kakar.
So let's go back to the javelin, and the championship record set today of Branimir Buditic of 62.79. Holds the world and European record of 65.72. This is his penultimate throw. In pole position, the reigning world champion. That's gone a great distance. Has he done it again? He's put himself in a great prime position here. A European record today. That went a long distance. That's beyond 60 meters at least. Hector Cabrera-Lasser in second place. Dimitrijevic of Serbia's moved up into third. Buditic likes that one. He knows it's gone a long way. It has gone a long way. That is a new world record at F13 of 65.74, and he's broken his mark by 2 centimeters. Brilliant throwing by Buditic, and he's improved what was the championship record set earlier by 3 meters. Dimitrijevic of Serbia, his final round throw. 60 meters 15, a lifetime best to put him up into third. The bronze medal position is around the same mark again. Hector Cabrera-Lasser of Spain in second place. He needs to improve by at least 2 meters. It's F13 and F12, but it's not a strength category, So even though there are two categories together in this, they don't have to worry about points. And Dmitrievich throws 57.99, and he'll stay in third. And that, for him, is the bronze medal, and a great result for the man who won bronze in the Javelin of the World Championships last year.
Well, we've seen fantastic performances. 57.99 given as his throw there in his final round. Seen fantastic performances, but I'm sure a lot of attention is surely going to be on the men's long jump. Coming up next, and the world record holder in action there, who's jumped a phenomenal 8 meters 40, Marcus Wren. But here is the new world record holder in the javelin,
Buditic, 65.74 in round 5. Can he improve on it? It's been a brilliant day for him. It's a huge throw again, but it won't be measured. He just stepped out. It's a red flag. And again, it went well out beyond 60 meters. He put a huge amount into that. And with Perkovic and the IAAF circuit, a great time for Croatian throwing. He's got the world record, and he's got the gold as well.
What a wonderful progression of throws. Every time he improved, every single throw.
Now the final of the women's 200 meters, T12. We don't have the European record holder in this, Oksana Batorchuk, and we don't have the world champion either. But we do have a very good field, including the perennially successful Anna Kulinic-Sorokina.
Athletes in the T12 or F12 sport class have a higher visual acuity than athletes competing in the T11 or F11 sport class, and/or a visual field of less than 5 degrees radius.
So now, 4 in the final, and it's T12, so they can use guides if they want. And if they don't want to, they don't have to. It's Catherine Muller-Rothgart, silver in the 1, the 2, and the long jump of the last Europeans in Swansea. She's been winning medals since the 2002 World Championships. Her guide, Sebastian Fricke, Catherine Muller-Rothgart. Lane 5 for Russia, bronze in the 400 meters. Beaten in the semi-finals of the 200 in Swansea, that's Veronika Satova of Russia alongside Dmitry Slepov. First major championship for the Pole, based out of the AZS Poznan club. It's Gosia Ignasiak, and she is running solo, as is, in lane 1 for Russia, Anna Sorokina. We've known her for a long time. We've known her for a long time as a great javelin thrower. World, European and Paralympic champion in that, but also quite good on the track. Bronze in the 200 in Swansea, silver in the 4, Anna Kulinic-Sorokina. And congratulations on her recent marriage as well. Katrin Muller-Rothgart in 7. 5th in the 2 and the long jump. Very good long jumper also. Didn't compete, though, at London 2012. Carried the German flag at the opening ceremony in Doha at the World Championships. So Kulinic-Sorokina of Russia in 1. Ignasiak of Poland in 3. Satova of Russia in 5. Muller-Rothgart of Germany in lane 7. Medium visual impairment. The T12 women's 200 meters final. And away at the first time of asking, and it's a very solid start in 3 by Ignasiak, and especially so in lane 7 by Muller-Rothgart. Ignasiak straightening up. Kulinic-Sorokina is going very well on her inside in lane 1, but it's Muller-Rothgart on the outside in lane 7. Absolutely flying here. It's going to be German gold for Katrin Muller-Rothgart without any doubt at all. She's taken the honours. It's Kulinic-Sorokina with the silver for Russia, and Ignasiak takes the bronze for Poland in her first major championship, the 21-year-old. But Katrin Muller-Rothgart, for the first time, is a major champion. She's done it in the 200 meters, and she's the European champion.
European record stands at 23.95, set by the outstanding Ukrainian Oksana Batorchuk in Doha last year, but the Ukrainians not here competing in these championships. And what a great bend that was by Muller-Rothgart. It would have taken a terrific run to have beaten her. Good work from her guide, Sebastian Fricke. And Muller-Rothgart, she was a long way clear at 100 meters and goes further clear Sorokina, Anna Sorokina, or Kulinic Sorokina as I should call her now. She goes through in second place. And the bronze for Małgorzata Ignasiak of Poland. But a really good display from the German, who will take that to Rio as a big confidence builder. Excellent 200 metres.
Brilliant result for the new European champion and the new European Championship record holder as well. 24:29. Katrin Muller-Rothgart takes the glory. Anna Kulinic Sorokina with the silver for Russia. And Małgorzata Ignasiak with the bronze for Poland. It is a shame, as referenced by you, John, that the nation that was the second most successful in Swansea, not here. Ukraine winning 17 golds there 2 years ago, 43 medals, but they've skipped the European Championships. We'll see them in Rio, as strong as ever, no doubt. So medal ceremony we are waiting on. And another excellent 100 metres sprint it was here in Grosseto. It's great that the weather has held up today. We'd a lot of rain overnight. Nothing like the floods of Thursday though. We've seen a succession of championship records today. Poland's great successful championship continuing with Ignasiak a few moments ago in the 200 T12, and here in the 100 metres T35 as they took the bronze medal here in one of their most successful forays in a long time. Italy and Britain with the major medals. Maria Lyle has retained half of the sprint double. That was formerly held by the lady who's finished in second place here. Great result for Scotland and for Great Britain.
President of the Italian Federation of Paralympic and Experimental Sports. And Luca Ciccone, Council Member for Tourism, Rural Development, the City of Grosseto.
Luca Ceccarelli, the City of Grosseto, and Sandrino Porro, who's the president of the Italian Federation, are our presentation team for this. And three brilliant athletes. Poland have now won 18 medals, only Russia have won more, and 8 of those have been gold, 7 bronze. Jagoda Kibil, the 16-year-old, contributing to that. We saw her in Doha and she looked a good prospect. 5th in the 200 metres and 6th in the 1. And she beat a couple of talented Czechs to take this crown. It is bronze for Poland for Jagoda Kibil. It's the 4th strongest of the standing cerebral palsy events athletes, rated according to their ability. And what ability for this brilliant athlete. And she's still only 20, Oksana Corso. Silver in the 1 and the 2 at London 2012, and she went on to do the World Championship sprint double in Lyon the following year. And since then, 3 silvers at European level, including this for Oksana Corso. Great story, great athlete. The glasses have gone, but the class remains. And speaking of class,
European champion, representing Great Britain, medaglia d'oro in nuova campionessa europea, Maria Lyle, Gran Bretagna.
Maria Lyle retains a European 100 metres title. And let's look forward in a few months' time. Lyle, Corso, and Isis Holt of Australia, the world champion, the world record holder. Kibil looks a good prospect. Great racing awaiting at the Engenhão, one of the main football stadiums in Rio. It'll be Athletic Central in August and September. Maria Kyle will have her eyes on gold there, and she has gold here for Britain. One of the new generation of athletes that would have switched on their TV in 2012 and would have been massively inspired by what they saw. She'll be inspiring a new generation itself. Rio is going to be a lot of fun. It's a brilliant category, and you get it from time to time where it gets really stacked, and we have that here in this T35.
It's not too long to go before we're going to be seeing David Weir out on the track, the great British wheelchair hero over the years and favourite to win 5,000 metres gold here today. But here's one of the men from his coaching academy, Motez Jomny, who by the narrowest of margins came home ahead of Vitaly Gritsenko of Russia to successfully retain his European T53 200 metres title. Great race it was. The bronze medal behind them, and I'm sure concentrating on his own performance but admiring the two who finished ahead of him. Arsen Kurbanov, Russian Federation, he picks up the bronze medal. Silver medal going to Vitaly Gritsenko. Great effort from him, pushing the eventual winner all the way. And gold for Great Britain. For the man who came into the sport so much in awe of the man who we're going to be seeing on the track before too long, David Weir, inspired by his brilliance at the Paralympics in London in 2012, and here showing himself once again a terrific champion in his own right. Motez Jomny here today in Grosseto, the men's 200 metres T53 gold medalist. Happy smile from him. And now we're going to hear for Motez Jomny the British national anthem. Proud moment and a happy smile for Motez Jomny. The long jump has begun, and here in the first round, this is Felix Streng, the 21-year-old German. Personal best of 6 meters 90, born without a foot or a lower shin in his right leg. Oh, and that's a good opening effort from him. Really good opening leap from Streng. Might not be right out at his personal best level, but it's not a long way back. And he's a long way short of that board, so there's considerably more to come from Streng. 6 meters 73, good opening attempt from Felix Streng for Germany. Crowd with all eyes on the long jump runway. And here is Marcus Rem, the favourite. His opening attempt, the world record holder, 8 meters 40, his best. Down the runway he comes, that great sprint speed. And it's a big one to open, that'll take the lead. Streng the leader, 6 meters 73. Marcus Rem has gone past that. Ren, the world gold medalist last year. Gold as well, of course, in Swansea a couple of years ago. 7 meters 49, his opening attempt. Virtually no wind. So a good start from him. If he posts another huge effort today, it's really going to ignite that debate about whether or not he should be in the able-bodied. Roberto La Barbara of Italy, his opening attempt. Well, that's going to make no impact on the leaderboard, I don't think. 6:52, Jean-Baptiste Les, he's in third place. Barbara, final competitor in the first round being led by Marcus Rem, 7:49. Well, he hit the board well. Got a personal best of 6:46. He's got to be thereabouts. He liked it, didn't he? So did the Italian crowd. And it's a personal best. Puts him up into fourth place.
Yes, Maria Lyle with her gold medal, and Oksana Corsu, who won the silver, is up with us, alongside us, speaking to Italian television at the moment. She's happy with her day's work.
You know who she's going to be wanting to see carry home a gold medal, don't you, Maria? She's watching very closely on the track now, because the werewolf is there. David Weir, the Olympic champion, Paralympic champion from 2012. He's not in the world rankings at the moment, but we know he's in form because recently he became the first man to break the 3-minute barrier for the mile. Alexei Bichenok may be the biggest threat here. He's fifth currently in this year's world rankings. Marcel Hug of Switzerland leads the way there. David Weir, there he is, number 324 on his back. He's won 6 IPC world titles on the track, and the winner of 6 Paralympic titles as well. Jorge Madero of Spain, starting on the outside. Went out in the heats in the 5,000 meters last year. There's the great Heinz Frey, 11 Paralympic athletic gold medals all the way back to 1984. Now 58 years old. Ivan Goncharov of Russia went out in the heats last year of the 5,000 meters. And there's David Weir, Commonwealth champion, silver medalist. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon, he was 7th in the 5,000 meters last year, but by his own admission, not in prime form. Julien Casserly of France, 6th in the 5,000 metres in Doha, ahead of Weir. Tobias Lurcher of Switzerland. Heavy Blitzfeldt of Denmark, 7th in last year's 5,000 in the 5,000 metres in Swansea a couple of years ago. Alexander Gansai of Russia won bronze in wheelchair half marathon in an international meeting in Seoul last year. Alessandro Balde of Germany. He took silver in the European Championships a couple of years ago. And completing the lineup, the Russian Bychinok, who I told you about, 6th in the 5,000 metres in Doha last year and got a 200 metres bronze medal to add to that. So a big favourite to take the gold medal here, David Weir. And somewhere his principal rivals who are going to be watching out with one eye, of course, on Rio. Marcel Hug, fastest man in the world this year, world champion from last year, European champion from 2 years ago. The brilliant Thai athletes, Rawat Tana and Chachonsak Tamsafon, Kurt Fernley of Australia, and others, of course. They're all going to be keeping a look here to see what Weir can do. And Weir, of late, has looked as though he is getting right back to his very best form. As they come around now in the dark shadow in front of the main stand, going around now in bright sunlight. The temperature something like 25, 26 degrees here. It's pretty much ideal, and the stiff breeze from earlier on has dropped. All about in these long distance races, tactics about keeping yourself in contention without expending too much in the early stages, and the pace over the first 400 metres or so pretty funereal, and nobody really wants to take it out, so it's going to be about the burn up in the closing stages.
David Weir would have been quite disappointed with that 7th place in the 5,000 metres. There were some incredible results in that T54. There's terrific strength and depth in it right across the distances. Julien Cassoli, great experience. He's been winning major championships since 2006, but it's one of the things about wheelchair racing that even if we don't have the likes of Marcel Hug or all of the non-European athletes that you've been listing out, and there's a lot of them, John, it's still an immensely strong field. They're all much medalled at European and major global level down through the years. It includes Cassoli, who won bronze in this at London 2012, and Weir, of course, with all those successes at those championships.
Well, it's the two fellas who I reckon could be his biggest danger here today, who are sharing the pace-making, being tracked by David Weir in 3rd place. Distinctive figure on the track with those tattooed biceps. Moving now into 2nd place, Julien Cassoli leading the way. You saw a little bit of pace-making being made by the blue-vested Alexei Bychinok. Weir absolutely where he wants to be at that stage, and Balde, the German, has moved through into 3rd place. Balde, who was the silver medalist a couple of years ago, very, very experienced performer himself, and he's run close to the 10-minute mark in the past, which is kind of the benchmark for truly top-class competition at this 5,000 metres when they're flat out. David Weir, the fastest in the field, with a personal best of 9:53.15. The world record is set by Marcel Hug, who set that on the Swiss track of Arbon back in 2010, 9:53.05. But you can forget about times here. It's about tactics and about who's going to be prepared to take it out, and whether or not there is going to be an influx of pace, and it looks as though it is quickening slightly here.
The interesting thing is that Weir moved aside at the front, and for a while nobody wanted to go out there, and it was the Swiss Lutcher who decided to take it out a little bit. Manu finished 13th in the World Championship Marathon as part of a London Marathon last year, but he was 24th in the 5,000 metres last year. Very good results in the last Euros in Swansea. Finished 6th in the he finished 5th in the 5,000 metres, and he may consider himself a really good prospect here again. Bychinok and Gansai, there are 3 Russians in this. Goncharov, the other one. We've seen a lot of his wife Margarita Goncharova so far this week, as we did in London 2012. Slight little gap emerging at the front, but I'm not really sure they want to be out there at the moment, but nobody really else wants to pick up the pace.
Weir is in 4th place at the moment. Not really wanting to put anything into the pace-making so far, just running tactically off the pace, being set by those ahead of him. And again, nobody really wanting to take it on. And it's going to be Alessani Bolde of Germany, I think, who moves through a little bit reluctantly to take up the lead. Didn't really want to know, did he? And the pace is slowing slightly, and the field, as you can see, bunching up once more. Bolde leads the way, and Weir is right up there where he wants to be, following that pace and nicely poised in second.
Yeah, Bolde is a really interesting character. He moved to Germany with his family when he was only 9 months old. Basically a life-saving operation. He stayed based there. His uncle and aunt were living in Dusseldorf, and now quite successful in Germany. 1500, 5000 silver medal in 2014. I don't know about the prospects of a German gold medal here, but I know in the field they're very strong.
Well, we're going to come back to this shortly, but we're also keeping up with the long jump, because Felix Streng, who was in 2nd place after the first round with 6.73, trailing his German teammate Marcus Ram, who leads the way in 7 meters and 49. This is his 2nd round. 6 rounds, of course, in the long jump, but here comes Streng. He was well back from the board first time around, 6 meters 73, and again, a little bit of a rueful look on his face. Not sure he hit the board quite as he would have wished. Let's watch to see where he was. Couldn't really see from that angle, but it looks, oh, he's just about got onto the takeoff board. Still a little bit of improvement to come there, but he's out towards the 7 meter mark, and that's good form from Streng. 6 meters 90, he's improved, remains in 2nd place.
David Weir hitting the front with 6 laps to go in this men's 5,000 metres T54 final. Bolde keeping his position in 2nd place. Castley's up there on the outside as well in 3rd. And moving inside, Heinz Frey, what a competitor he's been down through the years. 1984, the Paralympic Games in New York, the last one not to be held in the Olympic City. He medalled in that when he was a youngster, and loads of medals in hand cycling in the last few years as well. He's up there in the inside in the top 4, top 5 as one of the 2 Swiss in it. But Weir is having to do a lot more work than, I don't know, maybe he wants to at the moment where he is in 3rd.
The white-vested Julian Casserly, the leader as they come round to the straight once more, being tracked by Alessani Bolde. Then comes Weir, who's not done any pacemaking really so far, just tucked into the slipstream of Bolde and going very, very easily, just looking around over his shoulder to see where the rest are. Birchenock's in contention as well. Number 618 right on the shoulder. Now we move back to the long jump, and this is Marcus Ram in the 2nd round. Ram hits the board, and you can hear the oohs and ahs of the crowd. 7 meters 49 in the 1st round. 8:40 is his best. He is somebody who at his best can compete, and compete very favourably with a lot of the able-bodied athletes. The argument is whether or not taking off on that prosthetic right leg gives him an advantage. He says not. And 7 meters 90, it's improved, and that's a championship record for Marcus Ram, 7:90.
So Germany in front in the long jump. Germany in front at the moment in the form of Alessane Balde with 4 laps to go in the men's 5,000 metres. You'll have noticed Steffi Neri is a very familiar face coaching Rem and the sidelines there. The IAAF Javelin World Champion 2009 and home soil in Berlin. But it's not going to be, I would think, a home victory in this. Whereas kept off the pace a little bit. Castley's had to do loads of work. Balde's really been to the fore and away that again he wouldn't have thought would have been possible. And the same with the Swiss. Lutcher's made a bit of a move at the front. He's putting a little bit of pace here as well.
Well, he's certainly injected some pace here and testing out the rest of the field, whose response is pretty much instantaneously. It's Balde who leads the pursuit. 4th place is David Weir now, still looking strong and still to contribute to the pacemaking at the front. Lutcher of Switzerland, 37 years old, as they go through this time with 3 laps to go. Balde in 2nd. We're in fourth.
Locher and Balde both doing very well up there in the top two. Weir and Casserly floating around third and fourth. A bit of movement coming in on the inside as well. And it's interesting to see the veteran Swiss Fry, who's keeping a good position up in the top half. But again, Balde finding himself in second place behind Locher. Two men who are putting a huge amount of work in here. It's interesting how a lot of the field, instead of taking their normal turn at the front, have elected not to do so. Weir has made a position. He's gone to the outside. He's looking to pounce. And when they pass the line next, it'll be 2 laps to go.
They're looking anxiously over their shoulder. Lurcher's break was not decisive, just feeling them out, seeing what they've got left. Balde is in second place, moving onto his shoulder, being tracked all the way by Weir, and the veteran Swiss Heinz Fry in there as well, tracking Lurcher, but it's Lurcher who leads from Balde, and Balde now is looking to take it up as they now have 700 metres to go, and Weir tracking him all the way and looking very, very composed and controlled. Lurcher on the inside, Balde now just hits the front, and now Weir just has to work a little bit harder as Beechenok comes round on the outside and wants to take it up, and Weir is trying to track him and is responding as they come into the straight now for the penultimate time.
Yes, Weir and Casserly making a move just behind Beechenok, who's also been involved in the 208, takes the bell, and it's Balde who comes through in second place. Weir in third, Casserly 4, and those 4 beginning to break away.
It looks as though it's between those 4 for medals, maybe as we expected. Beechenok, the Russian, has the lead down the back straight. Then comes Lurcher, and then comes Weir, who's starting to improve now. And here he comes making his challenge. 2:50 to go, and Weir is in the ideal position. Balde is boxed, and he's not in a good place. He's right behind the long-time leader, Beechenok, as they come around now towards the straight, and Weir hits the front for the first time. The Paralympic champion is up against Beechenok. Beechenok ranked 5th in the world, but he can't live with the finishing power of Weir, who takes the goal. Beechenok second, close for third, but David Weir, the time is not a quick one, 11:15.96, but it was a tactical masterclass. He just pounced, picked them off when he had to, hit the front as the final bend approached, and when they came down the straight, as Beechenok tried to rally the Russian, who's right up there in the world rankings, he couldn't do so, and it is another major championship gold medal for David Weir, who at the age of 37 is looking as though he is getting right back into his very best form, and this is the point at which he begins to make his move.
4,600 laps, 4,600 metres of not very much, and then 400 metres of pure racing. Beechenok taking it away at the bell. Balde going with him, who's been up around the top 3 or 4 every day. But look at Weir on the outside. Casserly trying to get further behind. He's finding himself behind Weir. Still Beechenok defending his line very well indeed in lane 1, but knowing that Weir is on his shoulder, moving with every stride on the outside. Casserly had too much to do at this stage. You knew what Casserly's idea was, but he also knew what Weir was going to do. Went ahead in the final 50, lots of pace and power, and he couldn't have paced that any better himself. Second for Beechenok, third is Balde, fourth is Julien Casserly, and David Weir has done it again.
Outstanding performance, and you call there spot on. Balde given second place, less than a second behind Weir, and 0.04 of a second ahead of Julien Casserly, who takes the bronze. David Weir, after the Paralympics, well, he eased back on competition a bit, but he was always insistent, never ever write me off, and he is trying to peak at absolutely the right time. And Marcel Hoog, the brilliant ties, and the rest of the world's top wheelchair competitors will have taken note here, because it might not have been massively clear in terms of time, but I'll tell you what, in terms of tactics and race generalship, he was just in a different league there, and he's beaten some very, very good competitors, and he has beaten them with some ease. Weir makes his way off the track, knowing that another terrific day's work is done. And I just reckon that he had a lot more to give there. Had he been pushed harder from whatever stage of the race it had come, he'd got it absolutely in control. Great performance.
There was a lot in reserve, wasn't there? It was a slow time, but it doesn't matter when medals are up for grabs, and those are the photos that'll be making their way to the papers in the morning.
Result will be confirmed in a moment. Meanwhile, the long jump is continuing, and we'll be back there in a moment as well. David Weir winning at 11:15.95, ahead of Baichenok and Bolde. Crowd loving what they were seeing, and the British teammates out there supporting David Weir, they're going to be mighty, mighty happy as well.
And we have an update from the previous 5,000 metres. Abda Karamova with the shove. He finished second. She's been disqualified. Wollongren upgraded.
Meanwhile, back live in the long jump. And here is Marcus Ram. Third round, 790. He's leading by more than a metre from his German teammate Felix Strang, 673 in second place. Jean-Baptiste Hélez of France, 652, is in third place. So this is the third round attempt. 6 rounds possible. Marcus Ram would love to go over 8 metres. Brilliant athlete, brilliant athlete. Great sprinter as well as a terrific long jumper, but it's long jumping in which he's made his mark. Great speed down the runway, and it's another long one out towards 8 metres. Ram, who lost a leg in a wakeboarding accident a few years back. That's a particularly extreme form of water skiing. And Ram, still emphatically the best in this category. T44 men's long jump. Third round jump being measured. I'm not sure there's been an improvement. Coach there, Steffi Nereus, giving her advice. Gold in 2014. Took a bronze in the 100 metres as well. Gold in Doha, that was where he set his 840 world record. Paralympic gold medal as well. 766 in the third round, so no improvement for Ram, but still in the gold medal position. Roberto La Barbara. There she is on the runway. He is rather. Fourth round. Final competitor in this third round. Reclassified thereafter according to ranking. And La Barbara is in fourth place. 6:47 was a lifetime best for him. 6:67, if he could find another 20 metres, 20 centimetres from somewhere, would put him into the medals. Support from the Italian crowd. .646 at his best coming into here. He's already improved by 1 centimetre, and that doesn't look as though that's any further. I don't think that's any improvement. So he will remain in fourth place, subject to confirmation. As much as they leapt away to the left, they fell to the right, rather left as we look at it. Hit the board pretty well. How he'd love to get among the medals in front of his home crowd. And how Marcus Ram would love to get an 8-metre jump. 8:40 is mark in Doha. That would have beaten Greg Rutherford, who won the able-bodied gold in 2012. There's La Barbara, third round 6:21, so he remains in fourth place.
So a couple of medal ceremonies are coming up now. We've got the women's long jump, the T37. This was a very good competition. Another championship record set in this. And Russia taking another couple of medals along the way. They have impressed on day 2. Sana Fekalina going into this as European record holder, and not only did she break it, she came immensely close to securing a new world record. Luca Ceccarelli and Sandrino Porro. Our presentation committee. This really was a very, very good event as well, and you reach a competition like this, it's T37, it's one of the stronger cerebral palsy events, but I swear if you watch this for long enough, it drifts out of your mind. This was the case with, particularly with London 2012. It's a sport you concentrate on, isn't it? Anna Zapasnikova was European champion, not now, but bronze first. She won 4 medals in Doha at the World Championships last year. A couple of silvers, a couple of bronzes. From the Bayer Leverkusen Sports Club. Played volleyball for them. Able-bodied league. And now, very, very good athlete. It's another silver for her. It's her 4th in 3 major championships. Still got the shot to come as well, which she's very good in.
European champion, representing the Russian Federation, medaglia d'oro in nuova campionessa europea, Sana Fekalina, Russia.
So Sana Fekalina, the world champion, is now the European champion too in the women's long jump. A relay gold in Swansea alongside Zapasnikova. But now she's dethroned her colleague. It's a reversal of 1st and 3rd from 2 years ago. Sana Fekalina takes the gold for Russia. You know the tune. So Sana Fekalina, who claimed the world title in Doha, is European champion in Tuscany. Successful day for Russia. Successful day too for Great Britain. 3 gold medals. Aled Davis has won the men's shot put. Nobody can overtake him now. That's 16 meters 11 in the 3rd round. A championship record, close to his own world record. And he sent another monstrous one out. A great 24 hours for Welsh sport. 1 gold for Wales in the shot put of the Commonwealth Games 2 years ago, where the individual nations compete against each other. Look at that set of results. Aled Davis, the European champion again for the 3rd time in a row. Championship record, 16 meters 11. And look at the margin of victory as well, almost 3 meters. Clear of Bader-Tosi of France in 2nd. Great improvement on his 13th place in the World Championships last year. And well done, Tom Hobscheid. He takes his 2nd career medal for Luxembourg in third, and normally he's in a Luxembourg team of what?
So long jump continuing, but the women's 200 metres T36 to T38 final is going to be on the track shortly, and we'll show you the runners involved here, and it could turn out to be a cracking race, this one. There they are, and look for maybe Margarita Goncharova in lane 6, brilliant Russian athlete. Kadina Cox, emerging talent from Great Britain inside her, good draw for her in lane 5, and Sophie Hahn in lane 3. Really power-packed field here, loaded field you might say. And we'll bring you now in detail our lineup here, starting in lane 8, and there's 19-year-old Olivia Breen. For Great Britain, came 4th in the 200 metres in the World Championships last year. Inside her, Anna Trainer Wierciak of Poland. She's run faster than Olivia Breen. And Margarita Goncharova, still only 25, but she's been at the top for a long time, swept the board in Swansea. Success as well in the World Championships last year and going back to the Paralympics. Kadina Cox here, 100 metres gold in Doha last year. Didn't start in the 200 metres, didn't get to the call room in time, controversially. German athlete on her international debut, just 17 years old, Lindy Ave. Sophie Hahn, 19-year-old British athlete. The World Championships, she won the 100 metres, took the silver medal in the 200 metres behind Goncharova. Maria Fernandes of Portugal starting in lane 2, now 47 years old. And completing the lineup, the best T36 classification athlete, won gold at 100 and 200 in Doha last year, but her times not as quick as the other athletes here. This for athletes with cerebral palsy. Watch out for Goncharova, Russia, in lane 6, trying to retain the title that she won in Swansea. Kadina Cox, so much promise, also a brilliant championship cyclist. She's in lane 5, and the terrific young talent 19-year-old Sophie Hahn in lane 3. World Championship gold medalist in 100 metres last year, and close behind Goncharova in the 200 metres as well. Goncharova though with so much power. Sophie Hahn heads the world rankings this year and maybe the athlete to beat. She's got a great draw in lane 3, and look at her flying around the bend, but Goncharova going well also, and Kadina Cox, but Cox has got a little bit to do. It's Hahn who leads from Goncharova, then comes Cox. Can Goncharova come back at Hahn? Not a lot between them, and Hahn still leads. Goncharova going at it, stride for stride, and Goncharova takes it ahead of Hahn, and the bronze for Kadina Cox. Terrific run from Goncharova, retaining her championship gold medal from Swansea off the 100 metres. At the 100 metres point, as you might have anticipated, Hahn led the way, but Goncharova so strong in the closing stages. Her time given at 26.46, and look at that, it is a world record. It took a world record for Goncharova to beat Sophie Hahn, who set a personal best in second place. Kadina Cox takes third, but a world record for Margarita Goncharova.
Well, absolutely magnificent, and she was the world record holder from Doha last year, going into this at 26.61. A great pacing by Hahn, and she just had the slight advantage with 40 to go, and she was moving on. Cox performing very well in third place. Hahn trying to put in every ounce of effort in her body, but it was Goncharova on the day, supreme, with the fastest run we've ever seen in this category. She's taken 0.15 of a second outside the world record, and she needed every 100th of a second to take the title here.
Well, it'll be those two who are battling for gold in Rio. And what an important psychological battle might have been won there for Margarita Goncharova. because she is going to Rio now, knowing that at a high-level championship stage, she is the best at 200 metres once more, ahead of Sophie Hahn. She was so strong in the latter stages of that race. She could afford to smile after the finish. Hahn pushed her all the way, but it's yet another superb run from one of the Russian competitors and a world record mark. Silver and bronze for Great Britain, Sophie Hahn and Kadina Cox.
Look at all those lifetime bests that were there as well, including obviously our winner.
La Barbara in the long jump. He was in 4th position after the reclassification after 3 completed rounds, 6:47, and so he is the 4th to go. No change in the order. Christos Kapellos of Greece had 6 meters and 37. He's in 5th place, and I don't think that's going to be any improvement for Barbara. Roberto La Barbara trying to find inspiration. He set a lifetime best 6:47 in the first round. Still had a few centimetres in which she could have improved on the board, but that's only around about the 6 metre point. 6 metres 15, so he remains 4th.
So this is the result of the women's 5,000 metres from earlier. You may have remembered that sensational finish in the T54. Natalia Kocherova of Russia winning it. No problem with that. But Abdikaramova, who was in 2nd place, shoved Gunilla Wollengren out of the way in one of the most spectacular pieces of petulance in a closing straight you'll ever see. Wollengren upgraded to the silver medal. It was a lifetime best for everybody. Abdikaramova's lost hers now. We understand there won't be a rerun, Kocherova championship record, but I still wonder if Wollengren wasn't going to win that.
Well, I dare say she will think so. And this indeed is that medal ceremony coming up. Disqualification, I mean, it was a disgraceful act to so flagrantly push a competitor out of the way, and it made sure that Russia took the gold medal. But Wollengren, I'm sure, is going to be heading off to she'll be heading off to Rio thinking, I could have won that race.
It's not the fault of the winner at all, of course, because it was happening behind her, but she could have been beaten, and she got an advantage without any shadow of a doubt of what Abdikaramova actually did. And it was absolutely blatant. Her arm came out, shoved Wollengren out of the way, and Wollengren denied crossing the line in 2nd place properly. I wonder how Wollengren actually feels right now.
Pretty hacked off, I would venture to suggest. There's the Russian gold medalist, and she's not exactly wreathed in smiles, is she?
She won the 200 metres yesterday. I mean, it's really only in the T54 that you could get a double like this, the 200 metres and the 5,000 metres. Abdikaramova had put in a really good display up to that point. But she was bold and she suffered. I wonder if there's going to be a smile from Gunilla Wollengren when she gets her silver medal, her rightful silver medal. She's never won a major championship gold, Wollengren. Silver in the 1500 in Doha, 2 silvers in the last Europeans.
So the silver medal going to Wollengren, and rightly so. Sandrino Porru, man in the wheelchair, the president of the Italian Federation of Paralympic and Experimental Sports. Oh, Wallengren's got a smile on her face. And Maria Mana are there as well, a board member of the Italian Paralympic Committee. But the gold going to the Russian. Not smiling yet, but I'm sure she will after she hears the national anthem. That's more like it, a shy smile. But she knows that she has improved on her best running up to this championship. And a good morale raiser heading towards Rio.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able to the national anthem, the Russian Federation. Signore e signori, disponiamoci in piedi, se possibile, per l'inno nazionale della Russia.
So, gold for Natalia Kocherova, who takes the gold medal. I have to apologise to Gunilla Wallengren. She did win a European title in 2012. I just hope Abdikarimov has apologised to her as well.
Long jump competition has been paused. I promise you, you're missing nothing, because we have another presentation ceremony coming up. And it was another Russian success in the T38 200 metres, but it wasn't the man who we anticipated doing it, the great Andrei Vdovin, who'd been head and shoulders seemingly above the rest prior to this. Whether he was carrying an injury or not, I'm not sure, but he was well beaten in the final by Chermin Kobusov, his younger Russian teammate, being led out by Lorenzo Avaladejo Martinez of Spain, who will take the bronze. Vodovin, he gets the silver. And it's the youngster, Kobusov, who took the gold and looked really good, didn't he? Maybe a changing of the tide.
Yeah, well, Vodovin as well as the world record holder set in Doha at the World Championships. They combined the 37s and the 38s, which means if they are to do the same in Rio, then the reigning Paralympic champion at T38, the world record holder Evan O'Hanlon, would come into the frame.
Another of your boys, isn't it? Another of your, oh, beg your pardon, not one of your boys. He's got the Irish name.
He does, he's Aussie.
Yeah, he's an Aussie.
Hey, we'll claim him. It's fine.
I bet you will. I bet if you dig back, he's got Irish antecedents.
He has to. He was on our commentary team actually for Doha. He was out injured, unfortunately, but he was still out there in Qatar.
Well, there's the bronze medal for Spain, for Martinez. Vdovin will step forward and take the silver medal. Only just came home in front of Martinez by a fraction, didn't he?
Yeah, he had to battle very hard, actually, even to get silver, when we all thought that gold was more than likely. He still seems happy with the silver, though.
Well, it's another championship medal round his neck, and perhaps in the back of his mind he'll say, yeah, that's okay, silver medal, but it's the big one coming up, and let's get it right for September.
Winning silver here means a gold there. That'll do nicely.
But he's going to have to be absolutely at his best, because this fella, just 20 years old, showed that he is a real emerging talent. Celebrated his 20th birthday just after the turn of the new year. Vodovin is not exactly an OAP, is he? Only 22 years old himself. But Kobusov, with the performance today, showed that he's going to be right up there vying for the Paralympic gold in Rio, and maybe narrowing the gap on the world record of Andrei Vodovin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able, the national anthem of the Russian Federation. Signore e signori, disponiamoci in piedi se possibile per l'inno nazionale della Russia.
Russian national anthem broke down yesterday. I have just found the perfect man to sing it next time it happens.
I like a good tune. I'm starting to pick up pretty accurately on this one. Have you made a note somewhere of how many gold medals that is now for Russia? It's a huge number, huge number. Back to the long jump, meanwhile. This is Jean-Baptiste Allaise competing for France. Oh, he hits the board well. It's out beyond 6 meters. Allaise, so popular in his homeland, not least because of the tragedy that he had to come through as a child. Saw his mother murdered in Burundi at the age of 3. He himself was brutally attacked, a machete attack, and left for dead. Well, he recovered, and here he is now. 4th round, 6:22, still in a medal position on 6:62. 6:67 rather, in 3rd place. This is Felix Streng. He's in the silver medal position. 6:73 his best so far. Well, he's a long way short of the takeoff board there. Got his run up completely wrong. Way back. And that's going to be no improvement. Strang, only 21 years old, from Leverkusen, footballing town. 6:23, no improvement. Marcus Rem in the 4th round. He led the way after a 2nd round, 7 meters and 90 centimeters. Rem, 27 years old, by a long way the world #1 and leading this competition by more than a metre, 7 meters 90. Championship record, you see. His world record stands at 8 meters 40 in the 2nd round. The athletes Love to have the rhythmic hand-clapping support of the crowd. And now Rem in his 4th round. Is it going to be the 8-metre jump that he craves? Well, he hit the board well, and he heard the grunt of effort, but it's short of the 8-metre mark. If he'd got something over 8 metres once more, he'd have been really reigniting that argument about whether or not should be allowed in the able-bodied Olympics as well. But so far, he's not actually been able to get to his very best, although 7.90 is not shabby.
If he was at his very best, he wouldn't be very far from the edge of that pit. He's not very far from the edge as it is. Our latest final, the men's 100 metres T13, and it's the penultimate final on the track tonight. Going in this, the twice former world champion Mateusz Michałowski of Poland and the reigning European champion from Bulgaria, Radoslav Zlatanov. Other good candidates, Andrei Kuzmin of Russia, who's a relay world champion. Zach Shaw from Britain. So, Jakub Nikpon of Poland is in lane 1. It's his first major championship, the 18-year-old from a good athletics town of Szczecin. Lane 2 from Turkey. He's also a futsal player in the main league in Turkey, the small football pitches. Hakan Kira, 10th in the 200 metres in Doha. Alexei Labsin, very successful in terms of the relay. He's won gold medals in the last 5 major championships. Gold in the 1 and 2 in 2011 in the Worlds in Christchurch. And the man twice world champion previously in the 1 and the 2. Mateusz Michałowski of Poland. Philip Handler of Switzerland, the American-born, bronze in the Euros last time in Swansea. Silver in the 1 in the Netherlands in 2012. Radoslav Zlatanov is the reigning European champion in this. Also a good long jumper. Zach Shaw from Grimsby. They're making films about there these days. 6th in the 100 and 200 in Doha at the World Championships back in October. And that's where Andrei Kuzmin of Russia finished in 4th place in the 100 metres final. He finished 6th in the last European hundreds 2 years ago and was involved in that relay gold in Doha. And he's still only 21. So 2 from Russia, 2 from Poland, 1 each from Turkey, Switzerland, Bulgaria and Britain. Michałowski in 4. Previously the double world champion. Won his semi-final, as did Zlatanov, reigning European champion. So Nikpon, Kira, Labsin, Michałowski, Handler, Zlatanov, Shaw, Kuzmin. And we're not away. There may be a red coming.
Well, whether it's a false start or a faulty start remains to be decided by the judge, by the starter. If it's given as a clear false start, then the red card could be imminent. You can form your own opinion. We don't like to preempt it. Looked like a wobble, didn't it, in lane 2?
Yep. Hakan Sira was wobbling on the blocks. Picked up by the computer. Will it go down as a faulty start? The judge is walking across, and lane 6 and 5, 4 and 3. Actually, he's gone past them all. That's okay. That's good news for now, for lane 2.
Might just be the green warning.
Yes, it will be.
Or the yellow warning, rather. Well, maybe a little bit fortunate, eh?
That's the benefit of the doubt, if ever it was, for Hakan Sira, who remains in this final.
You don't like seeing people disqualified, though, in major finals, do you? If there's any doubt, you like to see it go that way.
And it's good that they've given the discretion this time. So Michałowski in 4, Zlatanov in 6, Handler in the middle for Switzerland, a prime candidate, and 5 as well. Labzin and Kuzmin excellent in relays. Labzin being a former world champion over 100 meters. Mikowski also. This could be wide open. Away the second time of action. Great start in 3 from Labzin. He's flying at the moment, and so too is the Bulgarian Slatanov, who's going very well, and Mikowski in lane 4. Here comes Mikowski in 4, Slatanov in 6. It's between these two, and the Paul Mikowski's got it with Slatanov in second place. 10.99. It was a slender margin of victory. He had to defend his base really well, and he did brilliantly. Labzin, fantastic. Away out of the blocks in lane 3. Season's best 10.98. That was terrific stuff.
What a great race that was. Terrific start from Zlatanov, the Bulgarian. Look at him going in lane 6. His pickup was terrific. Didn't look as though his reaction was electric, but by goodness, once he got into the upright position and started running, it was only here that Michalski starts to look really strong, and it was a real battle right the way to the line. And well, what a close finish. 400ths of a second behind them, and only 0.1 of a second back to the Swiss Philipp Handler in 3rd place. Great race.
And in the slipstream, Handler in the middle was brought along by the men on either side of him. Only 400ths of a second between them as well. That was a cracking race.
We've seen some special races today, and there was another one. More medal ceremonies coming before too long. The long jump competition also continuing, and we'll bring you the best of that, of course. And more medal ceremonies coming up, and here's your results.
So Maciej Michałowski of Poland is the European champion, 10.98, with Zlatanov of Bulgaria the silver, and Philipp Handler of Switzerland the bronze. Labzin and Kuzmin 4th and 5th for Russia. And the men's 100 meters T42 is the next medal ceremony, and what a race this was. Oh, what a winner.
Fabulous race, wasn't it? Fabulous race. And it was victory for Great Britain for Richard Whitehead, the world record holder at 200 metres. He says he's been working on his start, and he's unquestionably improved on it. But Daniel Jorgensen, the Dane, and the Russian Anton Prokhorov ahead of him, and well ahead of him, with some 30 metres to go. And Whitehead came steaming through, just as he did, or does, I should say, in the 200 metres. And he showed that when we go to Rio, he's going to be looking to try and complete a 100 metre, 200 metre double, because he came home by the narrowest of margins, but he's timed his run through to perfection, absolutely flying as he crossed the line. And it was one of the most thrilling races that we've seen this afternoon and this evening. Here's the bronze medal, Daniel Jorgensen. No disgrace for him, he was right in the shake-up. It took a big photograph to separate the three of them. No more than a whisker between them.
He's been impressive this week as well, Jorgensen. A very good long jumper, but he's developing well as a sprinter as well. He's taken advantage of one or two names not being around, but he's developing as a great athlete as well. There are 2 men greater than him on the day.
Silver medal going to Anton Prokhorov, the Russian. And again, with 30 metres to go, he must have thought that he was in with a chance of taking that gold. Maybe with 5 metres to go, he thought he was going to do it. But it wasn't to be. Because Richard Whitehead, who's talked about beating Popov's 100 metres record, well, that wasn't to be. When he gets to the 200 metres, he'll be looking to break his own world record and certainly go sub 24 seconds. But Whitehead here proving himself top of the pile at the 100 metres as well. 39 years old, and he's completed his journey here, or started his journey here, and completed that 100 metres, only a whisker outside his personal best. And the strong man does it. Hugely popular back home in the UK. And once more in his glittering career, he hears the national anthem for a gold medal winning performance. Richard Whitehead, let it not be forgotten, is the man in 2013 who completed the just staggering achievement of running 40 marathons in 40 days back to back. That would be simply wonderful for an able-bodied athlete. He did it on 2 prosthetics, a great marathon runner, and here he has shown himself in Grosseto to be a wonderful sprinter, taking the gold. Well done, Richard.
6 gold medals for Britain today. Well, I was commentating on his 200 metres win in London, and I thought I'd never see anything to beat that, but I'd nearly say what we saw from him today was, it being Europeans, but still an absolutely astonishing finish. Britain picking up medals elsewhere as well. There's a bronze coming here, with Finland and Belgium also being honoured. And this was tight as well. It's turning into a nice little rivalry between our top 2, Tony Piespanen and Peter Gennin. And the Belgian taking the honours in the men's 100 metres T51.
The winner of the bronze medal, representing Great Britain,
switched across to wheelchair rugby a few years ago, and it's the 2nd European Championships in which he's got this 100 metres bronze. Finished 4th in the 100 metres in the World Championships in Doha. He fell ill ahead of the 400, so was unable to start that. It's gone well here. Tony Piespanen of Finland, who did the 100-400 double in Swansea. It is silver for him here, as it was in Doha at the World Championships in October. Still Paralympic champion, that to be defended in Rio. At one stage he had all 3 major titles: European champion 2014, World champion 2013 and Paralympics 2012. And here's the man who's taken 2 of those crowns. For Belgium, Peter Gennin, 100 and 400 world champion, and he is European champion over 100 too. silver behind Piespanen in Swansea. But he's risen to the forefront, a former European champion in rugby, and now in the men's 100 metres as well. So honours again for Belgium, and Peter Gennen peaking at the right time with the Paralympic Games 3 months away.
One race on the track still to come, the men's 400 metres T44, but in the meantime we concentrate once again on the long jump where we're in the 5th round. Here's the home favourite, La Barbara. Oh, he's overrun, didn't get his run up right, couldn't hit the board correctly, overstriding and well over the takeoff mark, as you'll see, so no improvement for him. He will remain in 4th place with his first round attempt of 6 metres 47. Oh, it was only by a fraction, wasn't it? But it's a no jump. He knew instantaneously, didn't he? Looks as though he was further over than he was. Now this is Jean-Baptiste Allaise. 5th round. Allaise, who has the African nickname Mugicha, which literally translated means child happiness, not given him through some horrible sense of irony, but because after the tragedies that he witnessed as a young boy, as a 3-year-old, seeing his mother murdered and being brutally attacked himself, well, maybe from there on, having survived that sort of thing, he always approaches life with a smile. And Jean-Baptiste Allaise in the 5th round, 6:52 is best so far, and 6:67 in fact is best so far in the 2nd round, and he remains in 3rd place. So we're in the 5th round of the long jump, and moving on from there, this is Felix Streng. Streng in the silver medal position, 6:73 in his opening attempt. Streng, who generates good speed down the runway, and that's another good effort. It's around about 7 metres, clearly not threatening the runaway leader Marcus Rem, who 7 metres 90 led the way in the 2nd round, but Streng 7:93 in his opening round, and he's out towards, well, he's over 6.5 metres, isn't he? As you can see there, it might be somewhere close to where he was in the 1st round, and indeed it's identical, 6:73, but 6:90 his best, with the 2nd round remaining in the silver medal position. Men's 400 metres coming up in a moment, but before then, here's the leader of the long jump. This is Rem. 7:90. Can he find that elusive 8-metre jump that I'm sure he'd like to get to, reward his spectators for their support? Didn't look, oh, it's a long one, close to 8 metres, but a little bit of frustration. I'd echo what Will said. If he did jump, 8 metres 40, he'd be almost out of the pit. Terrific leap again, though, out towards 8 metres. You can see there's a fair bit more. 7:90 his best. 5th round, 1 jump to come after this, and 7:83. Good succession of leaps. Can he crack the 8-metre line at the last attempt? Well, that's one brilliant German, and we've got two more outstanding Germans here. David Baer of Germany in lane 4, and also Johannes Floors of Germany out in lane 8. Baer, the established talent, 29 years old. Floors, 31 years old. Listens to heavy metal while warming up. He's probably turned off his personal sound system now, because they're out there on the blocks. And they're in lane 3, waiting final preparations for Emanuele Di Marino of Italy, called Beast by his training partners. 55.70 at his best, and there's Baer. Talented motocross rider as well, hit by a train in 2007 and lost both legs, double amputation as a result. Bjorn Nelen of Belgium in lane 5, his first major championship. And I'm sure reveling in the experience of being among illustrious competitors alongside him. And here's another man here for the first time in a big championship, Kamen Minkov of Bulgaria. Luca Campiotto of Italy suffered his injuries in a childhood farm accident. Also a very talented ski surfer and a triathlete, all-round athlete. And 21-year-old Johannes Floors, the heavy metal fan I was telling you about, third in the 400 metres in Doha last year, and a very good swimmer, has medals to his name in years gone by. So watch for lane 4, David Baer, and also on the outside, lane 8, Floors. It's the two Germans, I would suspect, almost inevitably, who'll be battling this one out. Quicker on paper this year, and indeed in lifetime, well, this year, 49.47 is Floors. But the European record stands to Baer in Qatar last year at the World Championships, 48.42. Took the 400 metres gold medal there, and the defending champion, won 2 years ago in Swansea. So can he repeat his success? And he's gone out hard. Also on the far side, on the outside, Floors running blind. All those practices on the practice track in the build-up to this. He's got to have that inner clock, trying to run a level pace. Don't go out too fast. And it looks as though Baer has the advantage as they come around the bend towards the straight. Floors on the outside could have it to do down the straight. There's not a lot between them. Baer's in 4, on the outside Floors, and across the line there, Floors has an advantage, and Floors is going away. The youngster's going to take it, and 21-year-old Johannes Floors, oh, what a time, 48.68, tremendous effort from him, a lifetime best, outside the European record of David Baer's, but a brilliant performance. Baer got a great start. He'd done the hard work after 200 metres, but maybe, for all his experience, maybe the 29-year-old went out that little bit too hard. And he is the first to congratulate the youngster, Johannes Floors, third in Doha. Here gets his championship revenge and takes gold.
Germany 1-2, fantastic run for Johannes Floors, best result of his career. We were, I guess, denied. Another really tight finish. Baer looking very good at this stage. Floors, obviously, for a lot of that race, not knowing what was happening behind him, not knowing how far in front he was, if he even was in front, relating the stagger. Baer up with him, and then he just starts to massively struggle. Floors wasn't to know that, and he crosses the line in a championship record time.
Doesn't he look a good young runner? Look at that, streaking down that finishing straight. World record is still Oscar Pistorius' time of 45.39, set in Daegu back in 2011. A time set against able-bodied athletes. That's a T43, but look at that. Lovely celebration from the youngster. And he's going to be going ahead to Rio, brimful of confidence after that. Confirmation of a championship record time. David Baer this time having to settle for silver in a season's best time, and the man who you saw posing Emmanuel Di Marino in third, and Luca Campiotto. He was the man by that clock. He came in a lifetime best in fourth place and personal bests as well for fifth and sixth. So now to the long jump, into the last round for the final time. This is round number 6, and Barbara, 6 meters and 47, currently in fourth place. Can he put Alez under pressure? Alez in the bronze medal, 6.67. Great effort, but that camera shot we have there is a pretty accurate indicator, and he's short. He's short of 6 meters 67, so he'll have to settle for fourth place outside the medals. But he's produced a lifetime best this afternoon, and you can say no more than that.
He's got one of those lived-in faces, doesn't he?
Characterful, I think, is the nice way of putting it. La Barbara, 39 years old. He takes fourth place. And so we move on to the men assured of medals. And here is Lugica, Jean-Baptiste Alez, the Frenchman, in bronze medal position. Alez, 6 meters and 67, and looking to improve on that. Oh, and it's a good effort, but he's not going to get into second place. Felix Stren, 6 meters 90, is safe. Terrific speed, doesn't he, generate down the runway, falling away to his left slightly, and he was a long way short of the board. But Jean-Baptiste Alez, 6 meters 67 in the second round, just waiting for the measurement to be announced, and it's not too far back, look, 6 meters 49, so 6.67. He is assured of third place. He will get the bronze, and here's the man who, well, unless he can smash his lifetime best by something like a metre, in fact exactly a metre, he's going to have to settle for the silver medal, but no disgrace in that, because there's only the brilliant Markus Rem ahead of him. Felix Stren, 21-year-old German, 6 meters 90 in his second round attempt, also 6.73 twice in rounds 1 and round 5, now in his last and 6th attempt. Germans have had a good day, haven't they? And they're assured here of gold and silver, as you might have anticipated in the long jump, which has worked out pretty much according to form. Felix Stren, boyish looking 21-year-old, readying himself, the crowd giving them their support, and down he comes for the last time. Can he crack 7 meters? The answer to that is in the negative, just short of 6.50, so there's going to be no improvement there, and it's going to move on to Markus Rem in just a moment or two for the last time. So just waiting for the measurement there. Not a great camera shot. Dramatic. And Stren getting a handshake from Vadim Aleshkin of Russia. Aleshkin finishing back in 6th place. Stren will take 2nd. I just have to ask you, Will, where you'd stand on the debate about whether Markus Rem should be allowed in the able-bodied games as well.
You see, if he takes off on his actual leg, then he's got, I think there's no problem, but because he takes off in his prosthetic, there's a big argument against it, I think.
There's a big argument. 6.49 is the distance given for Felix Stren. There's confirmation, so 6.90 in second place. But it's an argument which has been visited before, and visited in depth, hasn't it, in the case of Oscar Pistorius. A lot of people objected to the fact that he should be allowed to run in able-bodied competition, but the rule came down in his favour, so in a sense the precedent has been set.
I can see the argument, and those who would argue who'd be competing against him that they might feel he'd get a little bit of extra bounce when he lands.
But I tell you one thing, whatever you say and whichever way you sort of vote, and you can kind of see arguments both ways, there is absolutely no denying the sheer brilliance of this man. 8 meters 40 is his world record, and 8 meters 40 would have taken able-bodied gold in 2012 here in the European Championships. Last attempt, oh, he's left his best till last, and that might be an 8-meter jump. It looks as though he's hit the board okay. He gets the white flag. Oh, there's a little bit of a grimace though. It might be a fraction short of 8 meters. How much he wanted to produce a real grandstand finish, and that's why he didn't soar over the 8-meter point, because he was back on the board. But I think he's left his best till last. Huge spring, great effort. He was giving it everything, but look at the frustration. Punches the air. He knows that was a big one, but because he didn't hit the board just right, it's not going to be where he wants to be.
An extra 20 centimetres he gave away there. It would be huge.
7.98, 2 metres short of the great 8-metre barrier, but another superb succession of jumps, of leaps from Marcus Rem. He'd have loved to have found 8 meters 10 or more. He'd have liked more, but he knows it's there in the locker. And more than that, he's retained his European title, taken another major championship gold. And all of us who watch it, I love watching him compete. I think he's a terrific athlete, and he's one of the genuine stars of IPC Athletics, and he has delivered.
I'd love to see him at the Olympics and the Paralympics.
There's the result, championship record for a second time with 7 meters 98. Felix Streng, fellow German, taking second, and it was Jean-Baptiste Allez of France who took the bronze medal. Great performance from Marcus Rem, and he'll go over 8 meters in the Paralympics in Rio, I'm almost certain.
He's just great entertainment at the same time. Just watching him go out, sail beyond 8 meters. He'll pick up his gold medal shortly. Now the men's 200 meters T54 will receive theirs. Yes, this was a terrific race, and in advance, this result would have been a bit of a turn-up for the books. We are, after all, talking about a man who wasn't considered a medal prospect for London 2012 and wasn't picked for the Britain team.
Well, we're looking at the strong starting Finn, Leo Pekka-Tarti as well, weren't we, who has so much success, principally over 100 meters, and he's taken the bronze. Alexei Baichenok of Russia was in this field as well, and he came so close, but Richard Chiasaro, a man to be reckoned with.
Well, it's certainly thrown wide open the 200 meters for Rio. Leo Pekka-Tarti takes the bronze medal, his first medal of the week. 100 meters silver at the World Championships in 2015. Terrific sprinter.
Sandro Porru and Luca Ceccarelli. Sandro Porru, leading member of the Italian Federation, and Luca Ceccarelli, council member for tourism for the city of Grosseto, and a beautiful city it is as well. They're the gentlemen making the presentations, and here's our silver medalist, Alexei Baichenok.
He's had quite a couple of hours, came out here, men's 200 meters, won the silver, went out in the 5,000 and did the same. You could only get this in T54. 2 silver medals in the same day. And the 200 meters, seeing him beat Leo Pekka-Tarti down into third, but second best behind this man.
medaglia d'oro, il nuovo campione europeo, Richard Chiassaro.
Richard Chiassaro wins gold for Great Britain. What's been a golden day for them, with 6 European titles going their way. The World Championships in Doha, he went out in the heats of the 200 and the 400, was ranked 10th in the 100, and here he is, European champion, has the flowers, has the medals, and it's time to strike up the band. Richard Chiassaro is the European champion. Nicely done. Cesaro Vecinat Cantati, the 1, 2, 3. Don't think he's going to be skipped for these Paralympics upcoming, is he?
He'll have his ticket. They'll have booked him. Here's confirmation of a 5,000 metres result from earlier on. We talked about Bajinok, who took the silver medal there in the 200, also taking the silver in the 5,000. Alassane Balde, the bronze. David Weir, though, the time doesn't really tell the story. He was utterly dominant there. Great performance from the Paralympic champion.
Men's shot put F44 is our next medals ceremony. There were only 3 starters, so 2 medalists in this for Croatia and Slovakia. And there is our champion. Jackie Christiansen is the world and European record holder at the F44. Actually quite a good jumper as well, if I recall. But anyway, here's Adrian Matuzik, who was the defending champion in this. And he'll have a silver medal to go home with.
And here is the winner, representing Croatia, Ivan Katanusic. Adrian Matusic of Slovakia took the silver. Katanusic by a margin of 10 centimetres, taking the gold. The 25-year-old civil engineer, a student from Zagreb, got the silver in Swansea, also took up a bronze in the discus there, and here taking the gold ahead of the big favourite, the Doha gold medalist, Adrian Matusic. Many would have anticipated that he would have come away with the gold medal. Instead, it's going to be the anthem of a proud man from Croatia. Well, a lot of it's gone according to form, but there have been upsets as well, and that was an upset. Outstanding Slovakian and the favourite, beaten by 10 centimetres. And a nice little rivalry developing there. And at least Matusuk has got a smile on his face, having to settle for silver on this occasion. Medal ceremonies coming thick and fast. Women's 200 metres before too long. That's going to be celebrating a German triumph.
Women's 200 metres T12 ceremony to come. Oksana Batutchuk being the European record holder set in Doha, Ukraine, not here, but all the same. The title certainly not diminished. It's German gold in this. T12, you can go with the guide if you want to. Actually, it ended up being a bit advantageous for our eventual winner. First major championship. And it's bronze for Gosia Ignasiak of Poland from Poznan. And they're having an absolutely brilliant games. Pick up medals everywhere.
Winner of silver, representing the Russian Federation. Medaglia d'argento, Anna Kulich-Sorokina, Russia.
Great success too for Anna Kulinit-Sorokina, as she now is after her marriage, and the javelin still to come, in which she will be favourite. But silver here on the track in the 200 metres. Her fourth major championship medal on the track. Lots of javelin golds to go with that. She did need a guide in the form of Sebastian Fricker, who will pick up a gold medal as well. Katrin Muller-Rothgart is the European champion. 3 silvers in Swansea in the 1, the 2 and the long jump. She wasn't at London 2012. She's been at major championships since the 02 World Championships in Lille. And now she is top of the pile in Europe in the women's 200 metres championship record as well. 24.30. It's been a decent games for Germany, and they pick up another gold. Katrin Muller-Rothgart. Gold for Germany. Great victory. Katrin Müller-Rothgart, her time has come. Yeah, women's shot put F55. Victory going to Latvia. Lifetime best for Diana Dadzite, alongside the silver medalist Marianne Bugenhagen of Germany, the long-time veteran. She's been competing internationally since the 80s. And Daniela Todorova of Bulgaria taking the bronze. And another brilliant race. Another brilliant champion.
What a brilliant performance. David Weir, 37 years old now, led out by Al-Hassan Baldi, the German. Alexei Bichenok picking up his second silver medal of the day. But David Weir said, when a few people were starting to write him off a couple of years ago, never you mind, wait till 2016, that's what it's all about. And he's shown here that he is bang in form. Became the first man to go sub 3 minutes for a mile not too long back, and here utterly supreme in the 5,000 metres. And Marcel Hoog and the rest will have taken note. Al-Hassan Baldi, he takes the bronze medal. Happy smile from him. Silver medal representing the Russian Federation then will be delivered to Alexei Bichenok. Emilio Bonifazi, the mayor of the city of Grosseto, and Mr. Sandrino Porru, president of the Italian Federation of Paralympic and Experimental Sports. The two men making the presentation as the silver goes to Russia. But a brilliant performance from the Werewolf. David Weir, a champion again, another gold medal, and winner of the 5,000 metres, might still go in the 400 metres relay. More medals coming his way this week, one would suspect. In the 5,000 metres, he got it absolutely right, just ran off the pace of the rest, pushed off their pace and produced that killer burst down the back straight of the final lap, and then into the final straight. They just couldn't live with him. At the age of 37, supreme once more. So there we go, happy wave to the crowd. Congratulations from his opponents and the gold medalist David Weir.
Women's discus F38. Here's Noelle Lenihan of Ireland, the 16-year-old. Silver in the World Championships in Doha. Set the world record there for F38. Cork thrower looking for a good start in this opening round. And that is a good start. It's a good one, launched out towards 30 meters, maybe beyond. Solid throwing from a very talented athlete. It's a tremendous distance. It's a new world record, 32 meters 14. So gold for Ireland and a new world record for Noel Lenihan in the women's discus, 32 meters 14. Eva Berner, silver for the Czech Republic, 30.79, and Irina Vertinskaya, the bronze for Russia. And this, the women's 200 meters T38 victory ceremony. This will be the last of the night.
What a race it was as well. World record performance. Sophie Hahn pushing Margarita Goncharova all the way, but Goncharova, brilliant Russian, defending her title and so strong in the closing stages of the race. Kadina Cox, outstanding cyclist as well, taking the bronze medal for Great Britain. Sandrino Porru and Emilio Bonifaci, president of the Italian Federation and the mayor of the city of Grosseto, the pair of them making the presentations once more. Our final medal presentation. Sophie Hahn, still only 19 years old. She'll be the favourite for the 100 metres, may get her revenge over Goncharova. But here, well, she was leading at the 100 metre point, maybe leading at the 150 metre point. But Goncharova, so strong, coming home in front in a quite brilliant time, meaning that Sophie Hahn has to settle for second. And there's kind of something appropriate that our last medal ceremony, that the gold medal should perhaps go to a Russian, because they have been the dominant nation so far. Margarita Goncharova, a glittering star of that Russian team, swept the board in Swansea 2 years ago, and here taking the 200 metre gold once more. It was a brilliant performance from her, coming from behind. And look at that smile. Against the darkening sky, a lovely lasting image of a great day of competition. And once more we will hear the national anthem of the Russian Federation for the gold medalist Margarita Goncharova. Silver and bronze for Great Britain, but yet another gold for the brilliant Russian team. And a lovely moment once more for one of the truly outstanding IPC world champions, and indeed now, once again, European champions who'll be going to the Olympics hoping to add more success there. Margarita Goncharova, as they walk away off the podium for the last time. And that's it for today, and what a super day it has been. Let's take a look now at the medal table.
Yeah, Russia winning 9 gold medals today, including Goncharova. Not her husband, though, who is in that brilliant stacked field of the men's 5,000 metres T54. Poland's successes continuing today with another couple of gold medals. Great Britain started the day with 1 gold, and they've won 6 today. 15 medals overall. And Germany, of course, the great success of Muller-Ruttgart, capitalising on 4 gold medals for them. Latvia have now won 2 excellent gold medals in the throwing events. Ireland, thanks to the achievements of Noah Lenihan with the gold medal, and they're on page 2. Portugal have won 4 medals, and the host Italy 4 as well. It must have been a really decent games as well, and Tom Habscheid with the bronze for Luxembourg. Weather's been good today, the competition's been fantastic. World records on the track and in the field, and there's still 4 more days to come.
It's been special, hasn't it? And we'll be bringing you more of the same from Grosseto, but for the last time from here, it's a very good night.